It's Friday night in Mississippi, where high school football takes center stage across the Magnolia State. That also means it's time for the Friday Night End Zone's Game of the Week on the Spirit Media Network. The Friday Night End Zone Game of the Week is brought to you in part by King's Daughters Medical Center, providing quality health and wellness in a Christian environment. By Mississippi Ag, Ag Up. By Centerpoint Energy, always there. By Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference. By Pole Chaps of Brandon. Need your business to stand out? Pole Chaps has you covered. By Vans Sporting Goods, online at vansoutdoors.com. Now let's head to the field with tonight's crew bringing you all the action right here on the Spirit Media Network.
At Summerall, and yeah, they're the full package, offensively and defensively. They're really a fun bunch to watch, and I'm looking forward to this matchup here tonight.
8-0 as we talked about coming in. They're coming off convincing back-to-back weeks of football. 2 weeks ago, the Trojans knocking off Jefferson Davis County. That was the Trojans' first win against the new JDC, or the new Bassfield as we like to call them, Bassfield Remix. That was their first against any Bassfield or JDC program since 1989 in an 8-7 slugfest. So it's been a while since West Marion has been able to celebrate a win against that particular program, or a faction of that program, if you will. They outlasted a very good McGee squad last week, 12-7, and I feel like, Brad, after that game, folks really started to pay attention a little more to West Marion after defeating McGee. The Trojans averaging 30 points per game offensively, and as we told you, only allowing 5 points per game. That's right, 5 points per game. Nothing to shake your head at there. Columbia enters with a 7-0 record, 2-0 in region play, as West Marion does as well. And the Wildcats have been sensational. This is a team averaging 45 points per game, only allowing 13 points a game on defense. They've scored in the 60s twice this season, coming a point away from the 60-point threshold in the opening season win against Mendenhall. And the Wildcats coming off a 14-point margin of victory against Jeff Davis County a couple of weeks ago, marking back-to-back wins against JDC. That's something, a couple of years ago was unheard of for a team to do that to Jefferson Davis County, win back-to-back games against them. So Columbia certainly with some notable wins this year. West Marion with some notable wins this year. Yeah,
and you mentioned Jefferson Davis County in both of the teams. And that is something to hang your hat on. I don't care what Coach Mancuso has over there this year.
Yeah.
When you can knock his team off at any time, that's saying something. And both these programs have been able to do that thus far this year. But, Jason, something's going to have to give here tonight, man. You got one team only giving up 5, another team only giving up 13, one team averaging 30-plus, one team averaging 40-plus. Something's got to give. Going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
It's going to be fun to see in both stands, by the way, both sides of the stadium. You'll get to see a view here in just a second, but both sides have really filled up, and we've got folks even standing room only outside the gates. So you'll get to see that here in just a moment as well. We'll take our first 2-minute break of the KDMC pregame show. We'll come back and tell you about these two defenses, only giving up 13 points a game and 5 points a game on both sides. We'll come back and continue here in the KDMC pregame show right here on the Spirit Media Network.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked, to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
Mississippi Hunters, did you know that Vance Sporting Goods has the largest gun selection in the state? Vance carries the lines you know and respect, like Browning and Benelli. And we've got plenty of ammo in stock too. Drop by and check out our new duck hunting section, complete with decoys and accessories. You'll be happy you did. If it's guns, it's at Vance. Vance Sporting Goods.
777 Highway 468 in Brandon, or visit us online.
We welcome you back here to Peyton Field. Columbia High School get all set for a big blockbuster matchup, a Thursday night treat, a rarity for us here on the Spirit Media Network. Jason Scarborough, Brad Bounds, Logan Campbell, Newman Kazari, all with you here in a packed Columbia High School. When you look at the stark contrast in these two teams, not a lot of stark contrast. Both teams are naughty on defense. The men of Troy, the West Marion Trojans, this defense, Brad, they've only given up 40 total points all season long. Comes out to be 5 points a ball game. Double-digit points only allowed once this season against Lumberton. They've got 75.5 tackles for loss. They have just simply been naughty this year, and Columbia's got their work cut out going against a very tough West Marion defense tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Jason, absolutely. And to further that point, the Trojans rank in the top 100 nationally. Oof. Nationally. They're in the top 100 in terms of sacks and interceptions. And they're tied for number 48 in the state with 17 interceptions. They also come in with 21.5 sacks in 8 games, pretty good. And that puts them at 17th in the state, and they're 32nd in the state as far as total tackles go. They've also blocked 3 punts. I mean, you just keep going and going with what they do. So, yeah, moving the football against this West Marion defense is going to be a tall task for Columbia, so it'll be interesting to see how Columbia counters.
Well, they're going to counter with a potent running attack, and it's led by Ole Miss commit Bullock. The kid has just been phenomenal this year. It's been ground and pound rushing the football. It'll be interesting to see how much room Columbia has tonight.
Yeah, Jason, the Wildcats come in with 7 different players that have scored a touchdown so far this year. You know, a lot of teams would like to have that. You know, generally you have 2 or 3, but 7 guys who have done it, and including there's 2 players that have 18 touchdowns between them. So Columbia comes in averaging an impressive 317 yards per game rushing the ball. They have 3 backs that have 15-plus carries per game, and they have 26 rushing TDs coming into tonight. You know, so Columbia 7 games, 26 rushing TDs. You touched on that earlier about how many points they've scored. 26 rushing TDs, and they rank 26th in the state in rushing yards. They also rank 2nd in the state in yards per carry.
Unbelievable. So you heard Brad say earlier in the pregame show, something's got to give. Who's going to have the big play tonight? Is it going to be Columbia? Is it going to be West Marion? We're just moments away from finding out. When we come back, we will go through the impact players and give you tonight's starting lineups as we inch closer and closer to kickoff here as the KDMC pregame show continues in 2 minutes right here on the Spirit Media Network.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
You often hear about Mississippi's best kept secrets. If you're looking for the perfect place for your next weekend getaway or the just right setting for your wedding reception, look no further than the best kept secret in Mississippi, the Cart Barn Inn. The Cart Barn Inn is tucked away in Bruce, Mississippi, less than 30 minutes from Oxford, and is a full-service bed and breakfast. Each room at the Cart Barn Inn is fully furnished, including flat-screen TVs, microwaves, refrigerators, wireless internet, comfortable seating areas, and docking stations for your smartphones just in case you forgot your charger. Enjoy breakfast in the morning or a nice evening walk in our privately fenced-in courtyard. Enjoy the game outside on our patio area or take a walk on our boardwalk to our private gazebo. Kay Tyler and her staff will meet every expectation during your stay. Call and book your reservation today at 662-983-7829 or log on to cartbarninn.com. Cart Barn Inn, the best kept secret in Mississippi. The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi junior colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
Brand new. And we welcome you back now as we get ready for our impact players, brought to you by King's Daughters Medical Center. We start with the visiting West Marion Trojans as the Columbia Wildcats have just made their way out onto the field. And the West Marion Trojans, they have a pretty talented quarterback, Brad.
Yeah, Jeremiah Holmes is a senior, and he comes in connected on over 64% of his passes so far this season. He's threw for close to 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns versus only 2 interceptions, and he's done that with connecting with 9 different receivers on the season.
Columbia counters with a pretty good running back of their own. He's already committed to Ole Miss, a special player, and he's going to have a big game tonight, Brad, if Columbia is going to stay undefeated and continue to chase that region championship.
Yeah, that Ole Miss commit is Kendrell Bullock. He's a senior as well, comes in with 12 rushing touchdowns and close to 700 yards so far on the season. He's already, Jason, this is the thing we need to point out, he's already got 40 career rushing touchdowns So he would be something to watch here tonight.
Going to be a special night as the teams are meeting as we speak to see who wins the toss and who gets the football tonight. And I believe we still have to work in the Star-Spangled Banner in tonight's prayer. So while the teams meet, we'll step aside one final time and then come back and give you tonight's starting lineups as Columbia and West Marion moments away from a big matchup here in the Pine Belt. A Thursday night treat for you right here on the Spirit Media Network.
Can't figure out where to stop for lunch or dinner? That's easy. Abner's of Brandon, famous chicken tenders, will hit the spot for you and your family. Abner's famous chicken tenders are unique because the fresh chicken is marinated and battered in Abner's own special recipe batter, and then served with Abner's own special dipping sauces. You'll always get fresh chicken tenders, never frozen, and it's all made from scratch. Abner's of Brandon, located at 1480 West Government Street in Brandon. Like us on Facebook for updates and store information.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi junior colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
And we welcome you back as West Marion has won the toss and deferred. So it'll be the Columbia Wildcats, the homestanding Wildcats, to get the football first, as that gives us a chance to look at the starting lineups first for the West Marion visiting football team. The Trojans come in, of course, we told you, undefeated at 8-0. There's a look at the starting lineups tonight and a couple of the key players there. You heard Brad talk about on offense, Jeremiah Holmes, the quarterback for the Trojans. And on defense, it all starts with their nose guard, Blayton Norris. And this is a kid coming in, 44 total tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss. So he'll be a big part of the defensive plan tonight. We'll look at the homestanding Columbia Wildcats. The starting lineups for the Wildcats look like this. You heard Brad talk about Kentrell Bullock, the Ole Miss commit, as he'll be a big part of the offensive game plan tonight. And we'll be curious to see how he does tonight as the Wildcats and Trojans come out onto the field. And that's a look at the starting lineups brought to you by King's Daughters Medical Center. You couldn't ask for a more picture-perfect night, say that 3 times, for a football game here tonight between West Marion and Columbia. We get to see the Ole Miss commit first here in just a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah, it'd be interesting, like we talked about, to see this offense go up against this defense and vice versa. And Jason, yeah, it is a beautiful night here tonight. Finally, we got some relief from that heat that's been hanging on with us forever. And it's a little nip in the air tonight. And this game, and I think you put it out streaming earlier, this game is so popular. We got people watching from the rooftops.
The rooftops. I mean, it's unbelievable. Just over the visiting side there to the left. We put it out on Facebook earlier. So very interesting to see that. So it'll be number 7 kicking off for West Marion. Jaden Duncan will author this kickoff, and we'll be ready to go right at 7 o'clock. Columbia in the yellow tops, blue pants. If you're watching with us from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or spiritmedianet.com, of course, the visiting Trojans in all white and red. Going to be a one hopper down the middle of the field, a short kick taken by the Wildcats, across the 35 to the 36, and that's where Coach Bilderback's squad will set up shop. Of course, Coach Bilderback in his second season as Wildcats head coach, 17-3 thus far in his time here at Columbia with a region mark of 6-1. What he's been able to do here at Columbia, not even through his second season, has been nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, he is. He's come in here and really got this program headed in the right direction, got these kids believing in themselves and playing some good football.
So let's see who they start at quarterback. Coach Bilderback told us that they will run 2 quarterbacks between number 12, Javen Moses, and number 2, Josh Brown. I want to say that that's Moses to get the start. No, that's Brown. He's going to take the quarterback keeper left side, and nothing doing. As the Trojans there to make the stop, a loss of a couple. Maybe they might give them no gain. Nope, going to give them a loss of a couple. 2nd down and 12.
He tried to go over left side. Kamarius' husband did a good job there of coming in for West Marion, making that tackle.
Husband, the right defensive end, as you mentioned, coming in with that tackle there. He's had a great season so far. The junior, all 6'4" of them making the stop. Brown's going to remain in the game at quarterback. And he's going to hand off to Bullock. Nothing doing. As he'll get back to the 35, and that's it. He may have gotten a yard there, Brad.
Yeah, good job. Good start so far by this West Marion defense, not allowing anything. In fact, on the first 2 plays for Columbia, they've lost a yard. So taking them in the opposite direction thus far.
Seeing why West Marion's only allowed 5 points a ball game. So the Wildcats, 3rd down and 11. Shotgun formation here, rolling to his right is going to be Moses. Throws at the last minute, intercepted by West Marion. A flag comes in at the end of the play as it looked like Moses forced that one. As we look at the KDMC replay, coming up with the interception there was Cavante Swanigan, the junior free safety, as we'll check the flag here. But if this holds, West Marion with a huge takeaway to begin the ball game.
Yeah, it didn't look like that. I just lost the quarterback's name. The quarterback for Columbia there came number 12.
Moses?
Moses, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. As he was rolling around to the right, he really didn't have anything. West Marion just took the run away. It was a run-pass option. They took the run away, and he tried to force that ball into coverage. And I didn't catch the penalty.
Well, they called defensive holding against West Marion, so that's going to nullify the takeaway for the Trojans. So now it will be a 3rd down. It didn't result in a 1st down, so if you're Columbia, you still got to come up with a play here to keep the chains moving. But the defensive holding against West Marion keeps the ball in the possession of the Wildcats. And they've got 3rd down and 1 right at the 45-yard line. Huge call there early because it looked like the Trojans had a takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely. It changes the whole thing. 3rd and 11 versus 3rd and 1. You open yourself up to a lot more plays.
Pistol formation, handoff left side is Bullock with a big hole down the far sideline, and he's going to scamper out of bounds with a Mississippi Ag 1st down. As we look at the KDMC replay here, a bigger hole there than he's had the first couple of plays.
Yeah, and Jason, you kind of see what makes him so special as he came to the line and just kind of stutter-stepped over to his left and then turned on the jets as he got to the edge, able to pick up a big 1st down for Columbia.
So a big play here for Kentrell Bullock, the senior running back, as they'll be just shy of the West Marion 36-yard line. Pistol formation once again As your quarterback, looks like that's going to be Moses, and Moses got a turn in hand here to Bullock, and not much doing as he's going to lose a couple of yards back close to the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Take your pick there of tacklers on the play for the Trojans.
Yeah, Husband, again, Kamarius Husband did a good job of penetration in the backfield, and he was able to make Bullock change his direction, and like you said, then a host of Trojans were able to come in and finish him off.
So 2nd down and 12 now for the Wildcats. Moses remains in the game at quarterback. He's got an H-back to the near side, and it's going to be the reverse going opposite direction. A lot of pasture out in front, and spinning and making a move, and finally tackled on the far side with the Mississippi Ag first down. They go the reverse here, and it's to Josh Brown, who will see some time at quarterback tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting there. They bring in Moses, the quarterback, and split Brown out and then give it to him on the reverse, but utilizing the speed, and that's one thing that both these teams have is a lot of speed, and we see Columbia showing off with theirs in this first drive.
So the Mississippi Ag first down, they've got them just inside the 25-yard line as they near the KDMC red zone. Pistol formation again from Moses. Flags will stop everything here. We've got a timeout on the field. Columbia says, let's talk about it. And while Columbia talks about it, we'll step aside as well. No score, just underway. First possession of the ball game, but Columbia threatening. We're back in 30 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshaps can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshaps does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
And we welcome you back as Columbia driving here and just exhausted their first time out as we are here at Peyton Field where Sweetness used to run. Pretty cool to see that statue in the end zone. Here's a handoff to Bullock. Bullock, nothing doing. In the backfield again is Blayton Norris, the nose guard, and he is fired up as he comes up with the stop here, and it'll be a loss of 2 once again. 2nd down and 12 for the Wildcats.
You know, believe it or not, some kids these age, not necessarily here at Columbia, don't even know who Walter Payton is. But here at Columbia, you definitely know who he is.
You got to know who he is. Chicago Bears great. Those 85 Bears, they were something else. Here's the option pitch to Bullock, met in the backfield. And reading the play beautifully was number 6 for West Marion, Octavius Harvey, the sophomore defensive back.
Yeah, Harvey did a great job there staying where he was supposed to and not getting out of position. And whenever they pitched the football, he was there to deliver a lick. And it brings up a 3rd and long here for Columbia.
3rd down and 14. Clock rolls as Moses clapping, and it appears to be offside against the Trojans, and it will be. So that'll make 3rd and 14, 3rd and 9. Still 3rd and long here, Brad. So if you're the Wildcats, you might want to pull into that bag of tricks once again that we saw moments ago with Brown on the reverse.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they dial up here. They've only tried to throw it once, and that didn't work out too well for them. So we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 9.
They've got Bullock to the left shoulder of Moses, who's back to pass. They don't pass a lot, throws a slant pass here, and there's a flag. The intended receiver will wait as we watch on the replay coming up, but looks like they might get pass interference here. I didn't catch it in the replay there. I think the receiver might be Irvin was the intended receiver, and they're going to get apparently interference against the Trojans. Do you like the call there for interference? It did look like they were nice and cozy.
Yeah, it was pretty tight coverage, but I thought it was good coverage. And this is going to be the 2nd time on this drive that Columbia has been the beneficiary of a penalty on 3rd down to keep this drive going.
So if you're Coach Brad Duncan, You're kicking yourself over there on the West Marion sideline. You've had a couple of chances to get your defense off the field, who, for the most part, they played very well tonight. And you expect that from a defense only giving up 40 total points all season long. Moses, your quarterback. He's got Bullock to his left shoulder, Twins to the left. The handoff to Bullock. Bullock up the middle, surging towards the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. And Columbia on the board first.
It was a big run there by Kentrell Bullock. He hit that hole with a full head of steam and was not going to be denied the end zone. And that's what we were talking about, is him being impact player of the game. And he certainly had an impact here early.
He carried 2 or 3 defenders in the end zone with him for the score. And the Wildcats on top 6-0. And the extra point coming up here as the Wildcats try to tack it on and go up 7-0. The hold is down, the kick is away, and it is no good, wide right. But the Wildcats strike first, and they lead 6-0 here in the battle for region supremacy in Region 8 and Class 3A. We take 30 seconds, back in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
Back with you here at Columbia High School, Peyton Field, Gardner Stadium, as the Wildcats strike first on Bullock's touchdown run, 6-0 Columbia. And now they will kick deep, and we'll see the West Marion offense for the first time tonight. Glad that you're with us wherever you're watching. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube Live, or SpiritMediaNet.com. Here's the kick, end over end kick. McGee going to take it around the 10. McGee wants to bounce it outside, and he is going to be met rudely shy of the 20. And give credit to this Wildcat special teams unit here, as now we'll see a talented quarterback. We talk about Bullock at the running back position for Columbia, but Jeremiah Holmes, he's been special for West Marion so far this year.
Yeah, he really has. He throws the football well. He can also run it when he needs to. Excuse me, Jason. So very interesting to see what he can do, and if this West Marion offense can answer what Columbia has done thus far.
We'll keep an eye on number 90, Jaheim Otis, as well as Jeremiah Haynes, the nose guard. So here come the Wildcats defensively. And Holmes, your quarterback, going to put a man in motion. It's going to be a little pop pass. In trouble behind the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to reverse field. A flag is down. Pastor here on the near side. Can they catch him as he cuts it back against the grain out to the 40-yard line? We'll check the marker. But on the carry for West Marion is going to be number 6, Octavius Harvey. And it was a heck of a run as he was met with trouble on the far side, reversed his field, and picked up the Mississippi Ag first down. But I thought I saw a flag. Maybe the eyes are playing a trick on me. No, they say sideline warning against Columbia, but what a play there from Harvey.
Oh, it was an absolute great play, Jason. As I was watching it, I thought that they had him stopped over there to the right, and then I heard you say he reverses his field, so you saw him before I did, and he didn't give up, and he came around here to the outside. And that's what I thought when where the penalty flag was thrown. I said, we've got some kind of hold or something over here, but no, West Marion able to pick up big yardage there on their first play from scrimmage.
Big play from Harvey as Holmes in the pistol formation now. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to fake the handoff and keep it, grab it around the shoulder pad, and manages to surge forward, fall forward for a couple of yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 8.
Well, if you're in Marion County tonight and you're looking for somewhere to eat or whatever, you can forget it. Everything is closed because I believe everyone in the county is at this stadium.
I mean, we're looking in the bleachers, a standing room only. I mean, folks are outside the gate, standing alongside the gate on both sides, I might add. I I mean, these stands at 5:30, Logan and I were on the field before the game. They opened the gates. I mean, the stands filled up quickly. Holmes going to take the snap, falls forward. A nice tackle here. Coming up to make the stop is Daquan Ball for the Wildcats. So let's see how West Marion responds here, facing a third down, their first third down offensively of the night.
Yeah, Columbia, as we've already noted, was able to get 2 penalties on 3rd and long to keep their drive alive. But that's not going to happen all night long, and see if West Marion can't convert on their first test.
3rd down and 7, just shy of the 40-yard line. Holmes running back to his right shoulder. Quick pass far side. It's caught, and with a lot of speed advancing forward, going to be cut down shy of the first down on the reception. Couldn't see the number of the West Marion Trojan there.
It was number 8, Kavonte Swanigan, who caught that pass.
So he's going to be about a yard shy here, Brad, and I'm curious to see what, actually 2 yards shy. And they need to get to midfield or just past midfield. They're lining up like they're going for it. Yeah,
it's going to be, we'll call it 4th and a long 1. But it could be just who has the ball last here tonight. So we'll have to wait and see.
With 2 teams that's given up a combined 18 points a game, right? You never know. Looks like they are going to go for it. Nope, they get the Columbia Wildcats to jump. And a heads-up play here by Holmes, the quarterback. The voice inflection manages to induce the defensive line. That'll result in a Mississippi Ag first down.
And a lot of people who just watch it and they haven't played the game before, they're like, how can you do that? All you got to do is watch the ball. Well, it's not that easy. On 4th and 1, you're trying to get penetration as quick as you can and blow that play up. And just a little bit too soon for the Columbia player on that one.
Unfortunately, that was Greg Fortenberry, the defensive lineman there, the guilty party. So 1st and 10 now for West Marion. Inside Columbia territory for the first time tonight. Quick pass from Holmes out to the far side is caught, shy of the 40-yard line. And one thing about Holmes, he doesn't take a whole lot of time to get rid of the football.
No, he gets rid of it quick, and that's the second time they've gone over to that right side and picked up yardage. That was actually Ott Mitchell who caught the ball, the wide receiver. But as I look across the field, he goes off the field limping. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Can't afford to lose him. He's hauled in the most passes this season for the Trojans. 13 catches, just made catch number 14. As Swanigan comes wide. Holmes in the shotgun once again. Going to turn in hand and spun down for a loss. Getting there first for Columbia was number 23, Justin Lee, the senior left defensive end. And a short loss on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming up for the Trojans.
Another 3rd and we'll call it 6. West Marion able to pick it up through the air a few moments ago on 3rd and about 7 or 8. And let's see if they try to go that route again. But like you said, and we'll try to keep an eye on it, leading receiver went out limping the play before, Ott Mitchell. So see if that has a bearing in this game.
Approaching 4.5 minutes in this first quarter. Bunch formation to the near side for Holmes. He's going to take the snap. Quick pass here near side to Swanigan. And he is in trouble immediately as he is tackled for a 2-yard loss. Take your pick of Wildcats, but getting there first. Looked like that might have been Josh Brown as well. Is that Bullock in the ballgame? That can't be Bullock. Yeah, I think it is.
They had him in there as a defensive back on that play. There's one thing about those quick passes that West Marion's throwing. You got to get that outside blocking. And if those receivers that were in front don't hold their blocks, well, then that's what happens there. Big loss in the play is going to bring up a 4th down in a punting situation.
Jaden Duncan going to author this punt for the Trojans. Averages about 36 yards a punt. Right-footed kick. Kind of off the side of his foot here. Takes a Trojan bounce and then falls dead at about the 26 after a Columbia bounce. So the Wildcats will take over near the 26 for the second time on offense tonight. So give credit to this Wildcat defense. They've heard all week about West Marion's defense. They say, hey, we can play a little D2.
Yeah, and they were able to get West Marion off the field on their first possession, something that West Marion wasn't able to do to Columbia. So Columbia in the driver's seat right now. Let's see if they can add on to this 6-0 lead that they have.
I'm kind of old school when it comes to defense. You want to see points, but you want to see great defense too. You want to see these offenses, you want to see them earn it. We've seen great defense so far here tonight. Here's Bullock straight up the middle. He'll pick up a gain of close to 4 yards, maybe 5. We'll call it a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6.
I'll tell you what Bullock's impressed me with thus far, Jason, is sometimes he takes that ball, he knows where he's going, and he hits it with a full head of steam. And then another time he saw that it wasn't there, and he's able to kind of jump step and get to the outside. So this young man has it all, and obviously so if he's Ole Miss commit. So he's delivering everything that we thought he might thus far.
Moses remains your quarterback. He's in the shotgun. He's going to take it himself here. Tries to spin forward and is met in the hole and pushed back. As getting there first was Brian Blakeney, the senior middle linebacker. 32 stops coming into this ball game. Makes the tackle there. It'll be 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Columbia Wildcats.
If West Marion cannot shoot themselves in the foot here as they did twice on the first drive, maybe they can get off the field and get this ball back.
And that's got to be the message from Coach Duncan on the sideline saying, hey, we've played good enough defense tonight. Right. Just stop committing these penalties. Back to pass is Moses. He wants to go long, throwing near side. Double coverage, and there's a flag. And Brad literally just said it. Don't commit a penalty here if you're West Marion, and it looks like that's exactly what they just did.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because there was really no sense in it. As you mentioned in your call, Jason, he was double covered. He really didn't have a chance to catch that football, but the defender just had his hands on him going down the field, and they're going to get another pass interference penalty and a 1st down.
I don't know if they got Larry McGee or Jartavius Martin, the strong safety. Larry McGee, the cornerback, couldn't really tell there who might have been guilty with the push in the back. But those were the defenders in coverage. And it results in a Mississippi Ag 1st down. Goodness, penalties, and more penalties in this first quarter by West Marion. Columbia has committed just 1 penalty for 5 yards earlier in the ball game. It was an offside penalty. Now the officials stop the clock, and we've got a flag down on the far side. Looks like an equipment malfunction. No, illegal substitution.
Yeah, it looks like because they had a player run off right at the end there, so they had 12 men. You can't do that. You can only play with 11. So.
I was wondering what the official was doing. It looks like he was grabbing at his shirt. I thought there was an equipment malfunction, but he says, nope. Too many men on the field, and here's the handoff. In the backfield, tackled there's number 4, Omar Johnson. As soon as he got the handoff, he was met immediately as we look at the KDMC replay. And again, this West Marion defense just playing lights out so far here tonight. It was Mahaffey, the right defensive tackle, that got there first. And so a minimal gain here. 2nd down and 3 coming up. I didn't think he got anything.
Well, I didn't either. Good spot.
Here's a handoff right side, and again finding it a tough going is Johnson, as he's met in the hole once again by this defensive front. As getting there first was Connerly, the left defensive end for the Trojan defense.
But if you're a West Marion fan, this is what you dread the most, 3rd and long, because that's where all their penalties have come on 3rd and long to keep drives alive for Columbia. And you got to figure at some point they're going to be able to stop them and get off the field, but they just haven't done so yet.
3rd down and 7. As believe it or not, we tick towards 60 seconds in this ball game, or this first quarter. And now we're going to have a false start by the Wildcats as a wide receiver here on the near side. Looks like that's number 7 that was out of his stance just a little early. Franklin, the junior wide receiver, is going to cost the Wildcats 5 yards. So 3rd and 7 now turns into 3rd and 12. Moses remains your quarterback. He's got a 4-receiver set. And now the Trojan defense returns the favor as they jump offside.
Give them that 5 right back. Another 3rd down penalty, though.
Somewhere you can just hear Coach Duncan's blood pressure going up, up, up.
Well, it's the things that you can control that'll drive you crazy as a coach.
That's
There's
right.
A lot of things that are going to happen you can't control, but you gotta take care of the things that you can.
Back to passes. Moses wants to go long. One-on-one coverage out of the hands. He hit his receiver in the hands here near side. Incomplete. And it looks like that was Brown, the intended receiver. So the Trojans get a stop on defense, and they'll get the football back. Good coverage there by the West Marion secondary.
Well, I was scanning the field just knowing there was going to be a yellow hanky down there somewhere, but there wasn't. So good job by West Marion finally getting a stop.
Had plenty of them so far tonight, right? So back to kick here is going to be, I didn't catch the number, as it's going to take a bounce as McGee for West Marion lets it go. And it's going to take a Columbia roll inside the 15 near the 10. Punting that football away for Columbia was Franklin. They had Otis actually listed as the punter. But the punt here, and West Marion gets it back with close to 20 seconds remaining here in this first quarter play. So let's see Brad Duncan and the Trojan offense comes up with. They moved the ball fairly well in their first offensive possession, but a couple of negative plays.
Well, it's going to happen because, you know, we talked about how good both these teams are on both sides of the football. So the defense will rise up occasionally if the offense can hit that big play. Columbia's done that a couple of times thus far. West Marion yet to do so.
So let's see what Holmes comes up with, the quarterback. Shotgun snap, and guess what, folks? Tell me if you've heard this before. Another flag. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, and you kind of hope that it doesn't turn into this, you know, because this is a heavyweight matchup. You want the players to be able to decide it there. But, I mean, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
But you do sometimes want to tell these officials, you want to say, look, we came to watch the kids play.
Exactly.
Not to see you. Like you said, if it's a penalty, I understand, but you don't want it to become this flag fest. 1st and 15, Holmes in trouble from his own end zone. Throws over the middle, has a pass complete and close to the Mississippi Ag first down. Great job by Holmes to scan the field, go through his progressions, and found Swanigan. And he's going to be close to a Mississippi Ag first down.
Yeah, it really was. You know, he took his time. He didn't panic. As you said, he went through his progression, able to find probably about his 3rd option, but able to put it right on target.
And they may be able to squeeze one more play off with just a few seconds here ticking before the end of the first quarter. And I don't think they're going to be able to get it off in time. The official says nope. Let's hold it over till the second quarter, a fast-moving first quarter, as the Columbia Wildcats lead the West Marion Trojans 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. We're back in 60 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked, to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
And we get ready for the second quarter as we welcome you back here to Columbia High School, Peyton Field, Gardner Stadium. 6-0, Columbia on top. As we open this second quarter, Jason Scarborough with Brad Bounds, Logan Campbell, and Newman Kazari, and all of you tonight, our online community, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, watching tonight. We appreciate you so much. As it'll be West Marion moments ago on a 1st and 15. Getting close to this Mississippi Ag first down, and the handoff here, nothing doing, still fighting for yardage is number 6, Octavius Harvey, and he was popped immediately by Haynes and Otis.
Yeah, nowhere to go for Harvey right there up the middle. He got away from the first tackle, but actually cost him a couple of yards by doing so.
That's one of those plays you can't begrudge a kid for continuing to pump those legs and continue to fight for yardage. Sometimes it ends up like that play.
Right.
It costs you a couple more yards. Now 3rd down and 7. I actually think it's closer to 6 from where they've got it on the far side. Holmes, your quarterback, and he says, we got to talk about it. This is a key play in the ball game. West Marion, they want to talk about it. We'll keep it here because I want to do a little reset here. 6-0, the difference in the ball game, a Bullock touchdown for Columbia. And really, it's been a tight ball game. And you talked about the penalties that West Marion's committed on multiple 3rd downs where their defense could have gotten off of the field, and they just weren't able to do it. So, by and large, it still is a close ball game, 6-0. But you feel like if West Marion gets those stops, they don't commit those penalties, we might still be scoreless.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It could very easily be a scoreless game at this point, which, and thus far I would say, we're talking about how good both teams were on both sides of the ball. Through the first quarter, the defenses are winning. The offenses haven't been able to take advantage of anything thus far, and both defenses are standing up and being accounted for. And we'll see if that trend continues here through the second quarter.
So we appreciate all of you watching tonight, and got a big online community tonight for a big ball game. And we appreciate all of you joining us tonight. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet us. If you're watching on Facebook, share it. Thursday night treat for you here tonight. Back to passes, Holmes. He's going to roll right, throws over the middle and caught. Hanging on to the football for the Mississippi Ag first down. He was popped immediately as Swanigan. And you look at the KDMC replay, he was popped as soon as he caught it. How did he hang on to it?
I don't know, Jason. That's as good a catch as you're ever going to see right there. I mean, that young man took a lick and held on to that football and was able to pick up a big first down.
Much needed first down for the Trojans as they'll keep the chains moving here. 1st and 10 for West Marion, just right at the 25-yard line. Holmes, your quarterback, takes the snap, a handoff left side, juking and jiving with a hole, and out close to another Mississippi Ag first down near the 35-yard line. On the carry, that looks like number 11 for West Marion. That's going to be Jartavius Martin, the junior running back. We'll call it a gain of 8, 2nd down and 2. So now West Marion starting to find a little bit of rhythm offensively.
A little bit, and it's always good when you can have, those 3rd and 4th running backs come in there and spell your starters and pick up yardage like Martin was able to just do.
Empty backfield here for Holmes, a man in motion. And Holmes takes a snap, and before anything can start, they say false start against West Marion. So, again, the Trojans just killing themselves with penalties here tonight.
Yeah, and as we talked about earlier, when you have, you want to stay in front of the chains, not get behind them. And West Marion had that at like 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 7, and now they're, or 2nd and 3, and now they're pushed back with that 5-yard penalty.
2nd and 7 now. Holmes empty once again. Man in motion. He's back to pass. Looks left. Tunnel screen near side to McGee. McGee trying to pick up a block. Gets near the 35. And he's going to be awfully close to a Mississippi Ag first down. And that was a beautifully designed play by the Trojan offense.
It looked like that's what they were trying to run the play before when they got the penalty. They came right back with it. And just came up about half a yard short from picking up that first down.
3rd down and 1 for West Marion, just shy of the 35-yard line. 6-0 is our score. Columbia on top. As the Trojans going to go empty once again. Holmes will send a man in motion. A high snap. Holmes in trouble and somehow manages to get back close to the line of scrimmage. But I think the snap might have thrown off the timing there, Brad, because as soon as he caught it, he was in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those things where a team that consistently goes from the shotgun, that's where it can hurt you. Because you had 3rd and about half a yard, and if you're up under center, you can just do that little quarterback sneak. But the quarterback's starting 3 or 4 yards back, and as you said, the snap threw his timing off. But Jason, looks like they're going to go for it here.
4th and 2. This is a gutsy call by Coach Duncan. Of course, they induced the Wildcat defense previously when they tried this. It's 4th and 2 at your own, 34-yard line, 33-yard line. Coach Duncan says, nope, not going to go that route this time. We're going to burn a timeout. They're 2nd of the half for West Marion. So they want to call a timeout, most likely going to punt it away here. We'll step aside with them. 30 seconds, and we're back here on the Spirit Media Network.
Mississippi Hunters, did you know that Vance Sporting Goods has the largest gun selection in the state? Vance carries the lines you know and respect, like Browning and Benelli. And we've got plenty of ammo in stock, too. Drop by and check out our new duck hunting section, complete with decoys and accessories. You'll be happy, happy, happy you did. If it's guns, it's at Vance. Vance Sporting Goods.
777 Highway 468 in Brandon, or visit us online.
And we welcome you back as the Trojans will punt and a high kick, a sky kick. And it's going to take a West Marion bounce inside the 30, and will be down close to the 28-yard line. So we were talking during the break, Brad, and said we really thought that Coach Duncan was going to pull the trigger and go for it, but he's been doing this a lot longer than you and I have. He hasn't had the success that he's had for no reason. So, we talked about, hey, punt it away. Your defense is playing lights out so far. It's just the penalties that have killed you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you take even one or two of those penalties away, and this is a dead even ball game at 0-0. So, yeah, I don't blame him there. Just punt it and turn it over to your defense and try to let them get you the ball back.
So let's see what the Wildcat defense or offense comes up with here against this Trojan defense. As Moses going to hand off to Bullock, trying to get to the outside, and he's tackled for a loss. And it's coming up to make the tackle is Martin, the defensive back. Martin's the leading tackler on the team coming into the season, and you can see why.
Well, West Marion all night long has done a good job of getting penetration into that Columbia backfield, and Columbia has been able to get away for a couple of decent runs. But for the most part, West Marion's shutting down Bullock.
He's got the one touchdown run and a couple of big runs, but outside of that, like you said, now they try the pass in the backfield. Is that a free ball? It looks like it is. It's a backward pass, and it's picked up by West Marion. They tried to hit Bullock in the backfield. And as we look at the KDMC replay, that is a backwards pass. Let's roll it back again if we can. And they try to hit Bullock coming out of the backfield. Yeah, I think that's definitely a backwards pass. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like it was. And live, I thought it was as well. Good idea to try to get the ball to Bullock in space, but a bad decision to throw that backwards pass for that very reason in case he does not catch it. That's a fumble. And so West Marion gets a big break here. Now they'll have it 1st and goal.
1st and goal just outside the 5-yard line. So a big play here for this Trojan defense. Yet another takeaway. They're 17th of the season. The handoff to the running back for the Trojans, fighting towards the goal line. He's going to be short. As got a couple of extracurricular activities going on here, and here comes a flag. Couple of players, they're just talking about where they're going to eat after the ball game. That's all.
Well, as most people know, Jason, these schools only about 5 miles apart, and so you got friends against friends, you got cousins against cousins, and, so it can get a little heated out there sometimes. But for the most part, these kids have kept it in check thus far.
Let's check the marker and see who they're going to mark it off against. And they're going to mark it off against Columbia. So now 1st and goal for the Trojan offense. Holmes, your quarterback. Columbia trying to tie this ball game up or take the lead on this possession. Running back flank to the left shoulder is Harvey as Holmes. And the shotgun where he's been all night. He's going to keep it. He is popped, absolutely lit up as he tried to take it on the quarterback keeper, and he was popped immediately. He may have even lost a yard.
They tried to take it right up in the middle of that Columbia defense, but they were having none of it, as you said. And that's going to bring up, they had it marked first, and now they're saying it's 3rd. So
I think what they did is they said half the distance to the goal. That made it set. That previous play was 2nd down.
So there would have been a dead ball penalty.
It would have been, yeah.
Yeah, you're correct.
So half the distance. So now 3rd down and goal. Holmes, your quarterback. Left side. Did he get in? Touchdown, Trojans. And it's your quarterback, Jeremiah Holmes. His 5th rushing touchdown of the season. As we look at the KDMC replay, the offensive line with enough space there for him to sneak through for the score.
Yeah, and a good call by Coach Duncan. If you got a kid the size of Holmes, don't even bother with trying to hand it off. Just let him go right up in the middle. They did that 3 straight times, and 3rd time was a charm as they were able to punch it in.
Blakeney, 20 of 35 on extra point attempts. We'll try to tow this one through. And the Trojans take the lead. The kick is up, and it is good. Wes Marion has taken the lead here at Peyton Field. 7-6 Wes Marion on top of Columbia. What a ball game so far tonight as we're back in 30 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
How long? And we're back. Wes Marion with the lead now, 7-6. It'll go down as a 1-yard touchdown run by Holmes, the quarterback. And now here's a little squib kick down the middle of the field. Wildcats have to pounce on it, and they do, shy of the 25, as Columbia will get the football back. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Bilderback comes up with here. Now you trail. You've led much of the night. It was 6-0 early, and that's where we stayed until moments ago. Now let's see how you do when you're punched in the mouth if you're Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia, a lot like Wes Marion did with the penalties. Columbia shooting themselves in the foot with that turnover to put Wes Marion in position to score there. And you're right, Jason, the first time that they've been behind on the night. And let's see if their offense can respond.
So here we go. Let's see what the Wildcats come up with offensively. Bullock has been held in check for the most part, as Brad mentioned earlier. There's a handoff to Bullock, spinning his way. He felt like he wasn't tackled as he gets to the 25-yard line. Minimal gain on the play.
We'll see on the replay here if in fact he was down. I thought he was, but he tried to spin out of it.
Ooh.
A lot closer than it looked live, wasn't it?
That was close.
And that's the beauty of having the KDMC replay.
Yes,
you
it
can go
is.
to it and see whether or not what you saw live was true or not. So, yeah, that was a lot closer than I initially thought it was.
Logan loves running the replay, by the way.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he does. Trips to the near side for the Wildcats on a 2nd down at 7. Handoff to Bullock coming near side, trying to pick up a block and tight ropes the sideline. Looks like he's close to the KDMC first down, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. Did they get a block in the back on Columbia or a late hit on Wes Marion?
They're going to call a late hit there, Jason, and I don't like to be this commentator, but I totally disagree with that call. I mean, yes, he was maybe a step out of bounds. But I think that was just maybe a little home cooking there. But
they're talking about it. Yep, it is going to be a personal foul. Late hit against West Marion, and once again the Trojans, although I would tend to agree with you there, that one looked like maybe the official could have kept the hanky in his pocket.
Yeah, he threw that one a little too eager to throw that one, I believe. Yes, it was a hit, and yes, he was technically out of bounds, but I don't think it was a personal foul type penalty.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as they inch inside West Marion territory. Moses back to pass. He hits Brown, who is off to the races. Touchdown, Columbia. And the Wildcats respond. But we've got another flag.
And I believe it's going to be illegal motion against Columbia.
Oh, goodness.
Brown stepped forward just before the snap of the ball, and that's exactly what they've called.
No, the official says, come on back, and you hear the West Marion crowd responding on the visitor side. But what a laser of a pass from Moses to Brown, as he had separation there, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, beautiful pass by Moses. As I said, you know, in our style of football in America, you can't do that. Now, in Canadian football, you can go toward the line all you want to before the snap. But he went just a second too early, and the official caught him. And unfortunate for Columbia, because that was a beautiful pass and run.
No, a reference of the CFL. I love it. Trips to the near side now, man in motion. They're going to hand to Bullock, trying to pick up a block. He's got blockers. Tries to jump over a man, and he does, and he fumbles.
It looks like the official to the near side is going to say that he was down.
Oh, let's take a look at the KDMC replay as Bullock went airborne to try to jump over a defender. And Logan says, yeah, good call. The elbow came down and the ball popped out.
You're going to spoil me here with this replay now, Jason. I'm telling you, you guys here at the Spirit Media have got it going on. It's just, like I said earlier, a pleasure for me to be here. But that replay is really something. I'm not used to that on a Friday night.
We've been blessed with a great team so far here this season for sure. Glad that all of you are with us here tonight. As Moses is going to hand to a different running back in the ball game, going right side, getting close to that Mississippi Ag first down. And he's got it, going to be Omar Johnson, the sophomore running back. And he's pumped up as he comes up from the pile with the Mississippi Ag first down.
Well, Columbia with back-to-back runs there, very nice back-to-back runs. First time we've seen that tonight. They've hit one here or there, but haven't been able to do it consistently. They may have found something here that they like.
Clock rolling. As we are late in the second quarter, Moses wants to go long again. He's got a man open. Separation, and it's caught down to the 1 yard line. On the reception is number 5 for the Wildcats, Daquan Jones, the senior wideout, first-year starter, only his second catch of the season. He only had 11 receiving yards coming into tonight.
Well, they had Larry McGee, West Marion did, out on an island by himself, man on man, trying to cover him. And that young man from Columbia able just to turn on the jets and get separation, as you called it, from McGee. And another good pass from Moses that puts them in business here just outside the 1.
First and goal at the 1 yard line. As it's going to be Moses, turns, hands to Bullock. Is he in the end zone? Touchdown, Wildcats! Bullock with his second touchdown run of the night. And the Wildcats regain the lead as we look at the KDMC replay. Pistol formation, great job by the offensive line as Bullock with his second score of the night, and now the Wildcats going to go for 2.
And Jason, we asked how would this Columbia team respond, and we just got our answer.
Yes, we did.
Best drive of the night for either team, and a good response here by the Columbia Wildcats.
12-7 Columbia. What will they do here as Bullock is in motion? And we've got a flag. Offside against West Marion. Starting to sound like a broken record here, saying West Marion offside.
Yeah, when you're going for 2, that's a big penalty because you get it half the distance to the goal. And now if I was a betting man, I would say that we're going to see Bullock here again.
I'd say that's a pretty good bet. Yeah. So inside 4 minutes to go here in this first half. The offenses for both teams have woken up. Handoff to Bullock, pushing for the 2-point conversion, and he's in. So Bullock with all 14 points tonight for the Wildcats. Looks like he ran into a wall but kept pushing. Got into the end zone, and Columbia on top, 14-7. There's a good look at Bullock on the sideline, carrying that football with him as the Wildcats regain the lead 14-7 back in 30 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCE, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi junior colleges. The MNCE provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCE is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCE and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
41 or so on Twitter. 14-7 Columbia as we welcome you back here to Peyton Field, Gardner Stadium. If you had a chance to watch our Facebook feed earlier, statue of Walter Payton dons the far end zone. Here's the end-over-end kick taken by McGee on the far side and somehow manages to squirt out to the 20. Was grabbed by his jersey back around the 17 and manages to get out to the 20-yard line. 14-7. West Marion down to Columbia. The Trojans are going to get it back to start the second half, but if you're Coach Brad Duncan, you're thinking about points right here. Get some points, something. Get something on this drive going in at the intermission.
Yeah, it would be huge if they could do that, Jason, and get momentum on their side. And not only that, as you say, get points here, and then you get the ball right back in the second half.
So we've had 21 points between the two teams. Just what, in the last 15 real-time minutes, 20 minutes, give or take. Trips to the near side for your quarterback, Holmes. Back to pass. Holmes reverses his field, now throws, and it's going to be caught. But a loss on the play back to the 17-yard line. And a flag comes in once again here on this offensive play as we check the marker. Good job here by Holmes to somehow get away. You think it's interference? Yeah, there's a flag on the play.
Well, what I'm wondering is, Logan, is why you thought there wasn't a flag on the play. As many flags as we've seen.
Because we've had plenty, haven't we? We've had plenty of flags for sure. And that's one thing you hate when you're talking about these officials. You're like, look, we know you got a job to do, but we came to see these two teams play tonight.
Right.
So apparently did they wave it off?
I don't know. They're still talking about it. The umpire has the ball in the middle of the field. And now they're talking about it. It looks like it's going to be, if that indication's right, a hold against West Marion. And what they're talking about, holding is a spot foul. And so he threw it some 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So half the distance to the goal, put it just inside their own 6.
Goodness. They're going to spot it, looks like, Brad, right at the 6. So 1st and 25, looks like is what we'll call it. So 1st down and a toss back to Rankin County. As Holmes, with his heels on his own end zone, is going to hand off, and that's close to being a safety. I'm not sure how in the world the running back there, Harvey, managed to get out of the end zone. And we've got a injured Columbia Wildcat here.
I didn't see the number, Jason. He went down right in the middle of that pile.
It's not Otis and it's not Holmes. Or Haynes, I'm sorry. So not sure who the injured player is. Tell you what, while they attend to him, we will step aside as well and try to get the injured player his number for you and check on him, and hope everything works out here. We're back in 60 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
Can't figure out where to stop for lunch or dinner? That's easy. Abner's of Brandon, famous chicken tenders, will hit the spot for you and your family. Abner's famous chicken tenders are unique because the fresh chicken is marinated and battered in Abner's own special recipe batter, and then served with Abner's own special dipping sauces. You'll always get fresh chicken tenders, never frozen, and it's all made from scratch. Abner's of Brandon, located at 1480 West Government Street in Brandon. Like us on Facebook for updates and store information.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
Your starting middle linebacker, Joey Kroom, the senior, the injured Wildcat. He looks to be okay as he comes off the field, but not okay are the West Marion Trojans. Second down and forever from their own 1-yard line. Back to passes Holmes, little screen pass here. Lots of room out in the open. Looks like that's Harvey in the open here. He's got pasture and manages to get back to the original line of scrimmage, or at least close to it. So give the Trojans credit here as a nice setup pass there for Harvey. They get back to the original line of scrimmage and put themselves in at least a manageable third down. As it was, what, 2nd and 26 before that?
And a good play design. They had McGee, out wide, and he just took his man down the field, and then Harvey scooted underneath and was able to take that pass and just use his athleticism to get what he got. As far as he ran, you would have thought it would have been a first down.
Yeah. Came all the way near side and then went all the way back far side. Play clock's already down to 4 seconds. Coach Duncan may exhaust his final timeout, and he will. He'll stop the clock here with inside 3 minutes here in this first half of play. We'll keep it here. 3rd down and 10 coming up actually inside 2 minutes, sorry. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Trojans. So far, so good as far as expecting a good ball game. We knew it was going to be a tightly contested ball game. It's been that so far, but both sides of the ball, if you're the coach in the huddle, what are you telling your team?
Well, West Marion, obviously on both sides of the ball, is we've got to cut out the penalties. We've got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot. And if you're Columbia, they figured something out on that last drive. Because they were not only with Bullock, but with the other running back, number 4. I'll lose his name right now. But
you talking about for Columbia?
Yes.
Oh, McGee.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them were able to run the ball. And then Moses has thrown 2 lasers passes. So looks like Columbia has figured some things out on offense. And if you're West Marion, you just got to keep plugging away, but you can't keep doing the penalties.
3rd down and 10 for Jeremiah Holmes, your quarterback. He's got twins to the far side, 1 wide receiver here to the near side. And looks like there's some confusion there as Holmes looks like he was supposed to pitch it. When you see the reaction from number 8, Swanigan there. Swanigan was here on the near side. Looks like open for the option pitch, but deciding to keep it was Holmes. Did you pick up on that maybe?
Oh, no, you're exactly right. But I'm going to tell you who blew the play up was Jaheim Otis. Otis, big number 90 there out on the end. He did a great job to where Holmes couldn't tell because he kind of got in between and made Holmes think that, he may go for the pitch man. And then Holmes kept it, and he was all over him for no gain.
Duncan going to punt it away here. The right-footed kicker gets off a good kick here. And it's going to take a Columbia bounce inside the 40 and die at the 37-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will have it inside a minute to go here in this first half. 14-7 Columbia on top. And if you're the Wildcats here, do you push for more? Do you keep the pedal to the metal? Or do you say, hey, we're content 14-7 with the way our offense and defense is playing? No, you always want more points, but what's the right play here?
Well, I think you build off that momentum you got the last time you had the football. Moses has proven that he can throw it and that these receivers are able to get behind the defenders of West Marion. So I'd look for them to try Bullock here, maybe once and then go to the air again and see if they can get a quick score, still one here right before half.
Columbia set up in the pistol formation here. They're going to hand to Bullock, and he's tackled for a loss in the backfield. Guess who? The senior nose guard, Blayton Norris. He's had a whale of a ball game tonight, a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. And the Wildcats may be content to take this into the locker room.
Yeah, that play right there may have changed your whole strategy. You give it to your stud back and see if he can't get you a few, but we'll see what they do.
Play clock's down to 14 seconds. Your game clock's down to 25. They go ahead and snap it. Moses back to pass, completes it far side, and then pushed out of bounds. They say, nope, keep the clock going. Looks like he was able to get out of bounds, the receiver on the far side. And the official says we've got a timeout. Columbia has asked for a timeout. So with, 7 seconds on the clock? 14 seconds, sorry.
Kind of surprising there that Columbia took that timeout. They must be going to,
keeping the pedal to the metal, I guess.
Yeah, Coach Bilderback may be trying to air one out here. It's the only thing I can think of, because only picking up a yard on those first 2 plays, you could have easily let the clock go down to 0 and take this lead in at half. But he may have a trick up his sleeve that, these teams, I'm sure they've been working on 1 or 2 special plays all week, and we may get one of those here.
Well, he did connect with Brown on the touchdown reception that was called back on the penalty, so you wonder if they're going to try to go to that play once again. So be interesting to see if they dial that one up here. Brown was able to get separation on that touchdown that was not. As Moses back to pass, pocket closes, he's in trouble. He's just going to have to eat it. No, tries to skip it out to Bullock. And they're going to call that an incomplete pass. I don't know. He just tried to kind of shovel it out to Bullock, a dangerous play, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass that will stop the clock with 6 seconds.
Well, that's the danger of doing something like that. Now you have to punt the football where you could have just taken a knee and gone on in, but they may get away with it. And you're right, that was pretty close to being another fumble. The officials did rule it an incomplete pass, though.
Hang with us, folks. We're having some technical difficulties here. We'll get that corrected for you here in just a second, as the last few moments of the half here as the punt is put away here by the Wildcats, and that will exhaust the first half of play. So at the end of the first half here, we'll go ahead and throw it to our halftime break. This brought to you by Mississippi Ag, as we'll go ahead. You want to go ahead and throw up the SEC update? We're going to fix our camera here, folks. Looks like someone's gotten on our cable. So we're going to go ahead and step aside here. SEC update with Jason Crowder. As we're at the halftime break. It's 14-7 Columbia on top of West Marion. Halftime break comes your way in 2 minutes on the Spirit Media Network.
When everything could go wrong, we found our will to win.
I mean, the best guys play.
I think they legitimately feel like they can beat this football team.
I don't think anybody knows what's about to take this field.
The give, Harris up the middle, absorbs 2 hits. He's taking it in. Touchdown, Alabama.
Garvin and Gunn is going to run. He's in. He's in trouble. He's sacked back to the 10-yard line. A.J. Moore.
Block's got a man open. Albert, at the 10, to the 5, to the house. I'm unstoppable today.
They give it to Williams. Pulls over a man and dives into the end zone.
Throws the ball. Intercepted. T-Staver. He's got a pick 6. Oh, my. 37-yard. Thank you very much.
Loads up. Fires long for the end zone. The pass is going to be caught by Tennessee. Tennessee wins! Caught it by Tennessee. Jawan Jennings.
This is an SEC update, an inside look at Southeastern Conference football. Hello, everybody. God bless you, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Crowder, your host. Joe Burrow passed for 293 yards and led 5th-ranked LSU to 3 unanswered touchdowns after the Tigers had fallen behind early in the second half to emerge with a 42-28 victory over number 7 Florida on Saturday night on the Bayou.
We knew the defense was going to get stops. We knew on offense we were just going to have to keep doing what we were doing. We felt like they couldn't stop us all night. We kind of just killed ourselves on some drives, but our defense really stepped up in the second half.
LSU quarterback Joe Burrow speaking with ESPN on the field following the game. Lynn Bowden, a slot receiver turned quarterback, accounted for 3 touchdowns in his first start at the position, including the go-ahead 24-yard scoring run with 6:53 remaining to lead Kentucky past the Arkansas Razorbacks 24-20 on Saturday night, and it ended a 3-game losing streak for the Wildcats.
First and foremost, before I go anywhere, I want to thank God. Without him, anything wouldn't be possible. During the week, we was keeping it under wraps. I was going to come out here and play quarterback. My team, my teammates, and my coaches they put their trust in me, and big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
Missouri quarterback Kelly Bryant was injured the week prior, and his status was uncertain for the game with Ole Miss, but he completed 23 of 35 passes for 329 yards and 1 touchdown for the Tigers in a 38-27 victory over the Ole Miss Rebels.
Tight end wing to the right side, Daniel Parker Jr. handed off to Roundtree running left, second level, he's going to go. Larry, 3 sticks, 10, 5, house. 41-yard jaunt. Missouri extends the lead.
The voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly, with a call from Learfield IMG College. Visiting UNLV outscored Vanderbilt 34-3 in Nashville after falling behind 7-0 to win 34-10 at Vanderbilt Stadium. The Rebels scored 10 points off Vanderbilt miscues to put the game away late. Tua Tagovailoa threw for 4 touchdowns to smash a school career record, and number 1 Alabama's offense kept rolling along behind his powerful left arm with a 47-28 victory over number 24 Texas A&M on Saturday in College Station.
Here's Alabama now with a 1st and 10 from the Aggie 33. Judy in motion from the far to the near side of the field. Tua stands in. Tua looks near side, wide open. Ruggs, he'll make the grab. He's in. Touchdown, Alabama.
Eli Gold with a call from Learfield IMG College. Israel Mukawamu had 3 interceptions for South Carolina, and Parker White's 23-yard field goal in the second overtime proved to be enough when Georgia's Rodrigo Blankenship was wide left from 42 yards out as the Gamecocks beat the Bulldogs of Georgia 20-17 in overtime in Athens.
Need a special play. Fromm got a tight formation each side. Wants to throw, quick throw underneath. Intercepted! And picked off. Mukwamu's got the football. That's his 3rd pick of the day. Israel Mukwamu, magic hands. Magic hands comes up with it. And listen to this crowd. You can hear the breath come out of them.
The voice of the Gamecocks, Todd Ellis, with a call from Learfield IMG College. Tennessee's defense finally delivered the kind of performance that Jeremy Pruitt's teams produced consistently during his career as an assistant coach. The Volunteers intercepted 3 passes, shut down Southeastern Conference rushing leader Kylan Hill, and withstood an injury to quarterback Brian Maurer in a 20-10 victory over Mississippi State on Rocky Top on Saturday.
On 2nd down and 3 at the Mississippi State 15-yard line. Power to the right, handed to Dixon up the middle. Jordan gets to the 5. Jordan fights his way into the checkerboards. Tim Jordan right up the middle, and the Tennessee Volunteers score the first touchdown of the day.
The voice of the Volunteers, Bob Kessling, with a call from Learfield IMG College. And that's been a look back at Southeastern Conference football from last week. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll preview this weekend's matchups.
Is the Southeastern Conference where you go away to college? Not exactly. Yes, we come from all corners, from all histories and experiences. And even though there are unique customs, new favorite foods, and new languages, the SEC is not really where you go away to college. It's where you come home. Because here, it just means more.
How about the Bulldogs? Ooh. Mississippi State, on both lines of scrimmage, they dominated, especially on defense.
Explosive performance from Mississippi State. And that defense, I'm telling you right now, is for real.
I don't think anybody knows what's about to take this one. And Etling drops, pocket collapses, Etling hit, Etling sacked. Jeffrey Simmons. Etling fires, Paddock down to line. Thunder, feel the thunder. They fake the handoff, Fitzgerald hits, he throws, fires, Mixon wide open. 25, down the right hash, 20, 10, see ya, touchdown. Thunder. And in the words of the immortal Jack Crystal, you can wrap this one in maroon and white.
It was a night where Mississippi State brought the thunder, and Ed Orgeron wants to forget. It was a turning point, though, for the LSU Tigers. They've been really good since that September 2017 evening at Davis-Wade Stadium in Starkville. Now it's this year that Ed Orgeron's LSU Tigers are expected to bring the thunder to Starkville on Saturday. These two teams will kick off at 2:30 p.m., and both seem to be going in a different direction right now. LSU is trending up. Mississippi State, over the last couple of weeks, has sort of been trending down. The Bulldogs are 3-3, 1-2 in the SEC, coming off a tough loss on the road at Tennessee. LSU 6-0. 2-0 in the Southeastern Conference, coming off a huge top 10 win at home against the Florida Gators. Davis-Wade Stadium will be rocking, but probably will have a few more folks wearing purple and gold than 2 years ago. Ed Orgeron talked about that 2017 experience and how he didn't really have his team ready, but that'll be different this time around.
We walked into a hornet's nest 2 years ago, and I didn't have them ready. That was one of the loudest stadiums we had played in all year. And not only the cowbells, but the music, the fans were into it, and obviously they played lights out. What happens with Mississippi State, they're going to pick one game a year that there's a target on. And it's always seemed to be LSU. And they're going to play their best game. So we're going to expect their best football game. We're going to play crowd noise, but I'm going to have them better prepared this year.
The LSU Tigers come in boasting one of the top offenses in the country, throwing for 395.5 yards per game, and that's to the credit of the senior quarterback, the transfer from Ohio State, Joe Burrow. Joe Moorhead, the head coach of Mississippi State, talks about Burrow.
I think he played well last year. I think he's playing at a completely different level this year. You know, obviously with the the new system that they're running and some of the things that he's able to do. Making quick reads, making quick throws, and the receivers that he's thrown to. I think it's really, you've seen him elevate his game from a year span and take to a new level. You always knew he was talented, coming out of Ohio State and coming down here, but I think, what they're asking him to do now fits his skill set very well.
Last year, it was a struggle down in Tiger Stadium on the Bayou in Baton Rouge as LSU won the game 19-3. Auburn at 5-1, 2-1 in the SEC, travels to Arkansas, 2-4 overall, 0-3 in the SEC for an 11 a.m. kickoff on the SEC Network from Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Coach Gus Malzahn of the Auburn Tigers talks about Arkansas being close.
They're a hungry team. They've been close. Could have beat A&M. Could have beat Kentucky. They're still holding it together. And like I said, it's a tribute to their staff, a tribute to Coach Morris. Some of the teams in our league lose a game or two, and they're worried about the skies falling, But, man, them dudes have hung in there. And so we really expect we're going to get their best. We got to play good football.
The Florida Gators will travel to South Carolina to take on a very confident Gamecock group that's coming off a big win between the hedges on Saturday in Athens, as you heard just a few minutes ago. South Carolina 3-3, 2-3 in the SEC, taking on a 6-1 Florida team, 3-1 in the SEC. The Gators need to get past the Gamecocks to stay in the hunt for the SEC Eastern Division Championship. 11 o'clock is the kickoff on ESPN, and Florida Gators, they come in with a tough defense, only giving up 14 points a game. Will Muschamp talks about Dan Mullen's defense.
I just think Dan does a really good job of presenting issues. I think he sees the game from a defensive perspective. Meaning knows that there's some issues with different looks that he can give you. The run game is the run game and their passing game is the pass game, but how they manipulate and get to those looks are going to be different each week. It's kind of like, preparing a little bit from a standpoint of the best example I could give you is they're going to get to this run. I don't know how they're going to get to it, but I know they're going to get to it. So whatever window dressing's created on game day, our players need to be able to adjust, and we need to adjust as a staff.
At 3 p.m. on the SEC Network, it's the Missouri Tigers. One win away from being bowl eligible. They're 5-1 overall, 2-0 in the SEC. They travel to Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville to take on a fledgling Vanderbilt program. 1-5 overall, 0-3 in the SEC. Vanderbilt head coach Derek Mason talks about Missouri.
Coach Odom's team is a good football team. They'll be well prepared for this game. We need to make sure that our preparation matches what we, look to do on Saturday, which is compete and give ourselves a chance for success. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's the work that we're putting in, and that's where we stand.
Kentucky is riding high in Bluegrass country after a win over Arkansas this past week, where they were down to their third-string quarterback, who happened to be their starting slot receiver. 3-3 are the Wildcats, 1-3 in the SEC, taking on a Georgia team in Athens that's pretty upset after losing last week to South Carolina. 5-1 are the Bulldogs, 2-1 in the league. 5 o'clock is the kickoff on ESPN, and head coach Kirby Smart talks about what his team has to do to be successful.
Number one, you can't turn the ball over. We got to correct those mistakes, and our guys have got to focus on Kentucky. The most important thing for us is Kentucky, and that's us getting better. And a lot of it has to do with us inherently looking at ourselves and saying, okay, what can I improve upon? But a lot of the things that we can improve upon are based on what Kentucky does offensively, defensively, and special teams, and that's where our focus will be.
Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium is the site in Athens, Georgia. Texas A&M travels to Oxford, Mississippi to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. 6:30 p.m. is the kickoff on the SEC Network. A&M 3-3, 1-2 in the SEC. Ole Miss, although they're 3-4 overall, 2-2 in the league, playing with a lot of confidence right now. And they have put themselves in position to win ball games because their offense can move the football up and down the field, and defense gets some stops when needed. They average 438 yards a game. Coach Jimbo Fisher of the Aggies talks about Ole Miss offensively.
Well, I mean, one, they rotate quarterbacks, which does that, which, you got to be careful because you think one runs, one throws, and all of a sudden they twitch it up on you, and you know that part of it. But, I mean, it's still counters, it's powers, it's stretches. It's still the same kind of run, zone reads. It's still the same. They're doing it in no huddle. They'll do it from a lot more spread looks in what they're doing, but they just do it and do it well, and that's their identity.
And the third Saturday, an October rivalry that has been dominated by Alabama since 2007. The Crimson Tide have won 12 straight over Tennessee. The Vols are 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the Southeastern Conference. They'll travel to 6-0 Alabama, 3-0 in the SEC at Bryant-Denny Stadium this Saturday evening with an 8 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. Well, Crimson Tide fans were tired of day games. Not only are they going to get a night game, they're going to get a late-night game.
Tennessee is always a game that's a big rivalry game. It means a lot to a lot of people in Alabama. Certainly means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. Jeremy has done a really, really good job there. His team, to me, is emerging. They lost 2 games that they very easily could have won, but they're playing with great discipline, toughness. The players are really playing hard. They're executing well in terms of what they did and probably played, their best game this last week against Mississippi State.
Alabama head football coach Nick Saban talking about the Tennessee Volunteers and this rivalry. Nobody is off this week. Everybody's playing football on the gridiron. And leading the SEC Eastern Division, the Missouri Tigers with a 2-0 record. Alabama at the top of the SEC West standings at 3-0. LSU just under Alabama with a 2-0 record. And that's a look at Southeastern Conference football on SEC Update. I'm Jason Crowder reporting.
When everything could go wrong, we found our will to win.
I mean, the best guys play.
I think they legitimately feel like they.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family. Worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
With 2 boys, I know about suspicious odors. But CenterPoint Energy taught me something important. If I smell rotten eggs, it might be a gas leak. I should leave on foot immediately and call both CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe location. I also never store flammables like paint or gasoline near my natural gas appliances. 1 spark is all it takes to ignite fumes.
CenterPoint Energy provides tips to help you keep your family safe. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCI, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi junior colleges. The MNCI provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCI is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCI and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
And we welcome you back as we're here at halftime. The KDMC halftime report, 14-7, 21 combined points between the two teams. Columbia came in only giving up 13 points a game. West Marion only giving up 5 points a game. We welcome you back to halftime. Here's Columbia High School Marching Band getting set to take the field and perform. Jason Scarborough and Brad Bounds and Logan Campbell all tucked into the press box with you here. Newman Kazari running camera tonight. So first half, when you look at it, we didn't really get to talk. We had to correct the camera there in that first half. But when you look at kind of how the first half went, did it go kind of as you expected when you look at what both teams were capable of doing on both offense and defense?
Yeah, it really did, because I felt that both offenses were going to have to settle in, if you will, and try to feel their way through this. And I alluded to it at the end of the first half. It's my impression thus far Columbia has done that. West Marion, not so much. They do have 7 points on the board, but remember, they were given a very short field as it was a turnover, and they had it inside the 10-yard line, first and goal, to get that score. So West Marion, there again, they've had spurts here and there, but they haven't shown any sustained offense like Columbia was able to do, especially there in the second quarter. So, yeah, offensive kind of feeling those defenses out and seeing what they can do and trying to adjust to it. And there again, as the score indicates, I feel like in the first half, Columbia did a little better job.
And what's interesting is Bullock, the Ole Miss commit, he's been held in check for the most part, but he's got all 14 points for Columbia. So when you look at his rushing numbers, he's nowhere close to 100 yards. He's not even, I don't even think he's right at 50 yards our last check, but not even close to 100 yards, and he's got 2 rushing touchdowns. So he's been held in check, but he still has 14 points, all 14 points for Columbia. And give credit to this West Marion defense for keeping him in check.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see in the second half if they can continue to do that. You know, with a young man like Bullock and the talent that he is, you know, you may can keep him down for a little bit, but eventually you think that they may wear you down and get you. But I don't know. Like you said, this West Marion team only giving up 5 points a game coming into tonight. This is I shouldn't say by far, but this is the best talent that they've faced thus far. But still, not too shabby. I mean, just 14 points for them, and in Columbia only giving up 13 a game. They've only given up 7 thus far. So I think the defenses for both teams have played very good in the first half, and I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up for all 4 quarters.
When you look at let's say you're in the locker room, you're Coach Duncan, and your message to the team for West Marion is what?
Well, first of all, we've got to clean up our mistakes. We talked about that in the first half. The penalties have killed them offensively and defensively. And you can say, for all intents and purposes, that the first 7 points that Columbia got, West Marion gave to them because they were able to convert 2 or 3 third downs via the penalty. So if I'm Coach Duncan, I'm first of all telling them that. Say, hey, look, we got our hands full beating this Columbia team. Let's don't beat ourselves. All right, so let's clean up our mistakes and do what we do. Do what we do that got us here. Because, like I said, you're going to pop a play every now and then. And if West Marion can just do what they do and play within themselves, I think they have a good chance of coming out here in the second half and getting away with here, maybe stealing a victory.
Let's go to the home side. Coach Bilderback, if you're in the locker room with him and you got a chance to deliver a message to the team, what's your message to the Wildcats at the half?
Continue to ride the momentum that you got right at the end of the second quarter. As I said, they were able to figure out some things. They ran the ball the most consistent that they have ran it through all night during the second half of that second quarter. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Bilderback goes deep a couple of more times too, because Moses has thrown the ball good, and they have shown the ability to get behind those West Marion receivers, especially when they go man on man. And Jason, I've noticed this: West Marion on defense, they roll that safety to one side of the field. But pre-snap, they're rolling him to one side of the field. So Columbia's going to have a receiver, at least one, in man-to-man coverage all night, and that may be something they can exploit.
Should be interesting when you look at what we've got in store for the second half, and a phenomenal ball game so far tonight as it's 14-7, Columbia on top of West Marion. We're going to step aside for a 3-minute break and come back as we'll get all set for the Wildcats and Trojans here in the second half. Our Spirit Media Network Game of the Week. So glad that all of you are joining us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube Live, whether you're watching at spiritmedianet.com, wherever you're watching tonight. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight and encourage you retweet our post, our video there on Twitter, as well as sharing our post on Facebook. 3-minute break. We come back, get you all set for the second half right here on the Spirit Media Network.
Can't figure out where to stop for lunch or dinner? That's easy. Abner's of Brandon Famous Chicken Tenders will hit the spot for you and your family. Abner's Famous Chicken Tenders are unique because the fresh chicken is marinated and battered in Abner's own special recipe batter, and then served with Abner's own special dipping sauces. You'll always get fresh chicken tenders, never frozen, and it's all made from scratch. Abner's of Brandon, located at 1480 West Government Street in Brandon. Like us on Facebook for updates and store information.
You often hear about Mississippi's best-kept secrets. If you're looking for the perfect place for your next weekend getaway or the just right setting for your wedding reception, look no further than the best-kept secret in Mississippi, the Cart Barn Inn. The Cart Barn Inn is tucked away in Bruce, Mississippi, less than 30 minutes from Oxford, and is a full-service bed and breakfast. Each room at the Cart Barn Inn is fully furnished, including flat-screen TVs, microwaves, refrigerators, wireless internet, comfortable seating areas, and docking stations for your smartphones just in case you forgot your charger. Enjoy breakfast in the morning or a nice evening walk in our privately fenced-in courtyard. Enjoy the game outside on our patio area or take a walk on our boardwalk to our private gazebo. Kay Tyler and her staff will meet every expectation during your stay. Call and book your reservation today at 662-983-7829 or log on to cartbarninn.com. Cart Barn Inn, the best kept secret in Mississippi.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
Need your business to stand out and pop? Then it's time to visit Polshap's Screen Print and Embroidery in Brandon. Polshap's can custom design your marketing campaigns with custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional materials that set you apart from the competition. Speaking of setting apart, Polshap's does all their work in-house from start to finish. No outsourcing, meaning faster turnaround time and lower prices for you, the customer. Visit Polshaps.com to find out more and get started on standing out.
All right, we welcome you back. Just a couple of minutes here before we get started here in this second half. And I'm glad that Brad Bounds came to hang out with me tonight. I had to bring out the big guns for tonight's ball game.
Where they at? No,
oh, man.
I appreciated the phone call, man. It's a lot of fun being up here with you. And you picked a pretty good game for me to come hang out with you, so I appreciate it.
Well, we got to give a shout out to our friend Kelly Sanders. Known Kelly and you for a long time, back in my days when I was doing broadcasts for that school that will remain nameless. You know what I'm talking about. We'll leave that alone. All right, so Columbia is going to kick to West Marion to start the second half. And if you're West Marion, you got to feel pretty good because you've committed a laundry list of penalties, no pun intended, well, maybe a little bit. And you're only down 7 points, and you've held Bullock in check. Granted, the 2 touchdowns he has on the night were within 5 yards. Both. Actually, the first one might have been closer to about 10 or 15 yards. The second run was about 2 yards. So you've held them in check for the most part tonight, and you've kept all the other playmakers in check, so you got to feel pretty good. On the other side, if you're Columbia, you're thinking, hey, if we get Bullock going, we can put this one away.
Yeah, Jason, and that will be the task here in the second half. Columbia, if they can stop West Marion here and get the ball back and put some points on the board, maybe go up 2 scores here, then you're really going to get a big dose of Bullock at that point as they will try to just run the clock. I'll tell you another thing with Columbia, you will not see a bigger kicker.
That's Jaheim Otis, the sophomore defensive tackle. He's got multiple SEC offers, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they're not recruiting him to be a field goal kicker.
Well, probably not.
That is a big old boy, as we say in Mississippi. Got to give him credit, too, for his honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month with the pink socks there. As Otis comes forward and toes the end-over-end kick. Pretty good kick, taken inside the 10 by McGee for West Marion. Coming up the middle, and he's going to bounce out to the 26. And that's where the Trojans are going to have it. First down and 10 as we open this second half of play. Glad that you're with us. Jason Scarborough, Brad Bounds, Logan Campbell, Newman Kazari up top running camera. And all of our friends and family watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube Live, and SpiritMediaNet.com. First and 10 for the Trojans, as we'll see Jeremiah Holmes once again. Senior quarterback has engineered this offense tonight for the Trojans. Made a couple of good throws as well, as he'll throw far side. Receiver never turned around. Miscommunication there between he and our Marion Husband, the junior wideout. Husband never turned around. Incomplete, second and 10.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going downfield to block.
Yeah.
Like he thought the pass was going to go underneath to another receiver. But like you said, a little miscommunication there, but no harm, no foul. See if they can't regroup here on second.
Second and 10 for this Trojan offense that averages about 341 yards of offense a game. Trips to the near side for Holmes. Takes a snap. He's back to pass. Pressure comes. A little pop pass over the middle. And a minimal gain as it's complete. Looks like that's to Swanigan, and it is Swanigan. Out to about the 28-yard line. Third down and 8 coming up for the Trojan offense.
We'll see if Holmes can't connect. I expect him to pass here. See if he can't connect. All they've been throwing pretty much all night, Jason, is little screen passes out to the side, trying to get a block and let their wide receiver use his athletic ability to pick up the first. But
are you a little surprised that they didn't maybe mix in a run or two here? They've had a little success, not much, but a little success running the football. It's been all pass here. As back to pass again is Holmes. Pressure coming. He steps up. Now flushed out to the left. Throws at the last minute and skips it low far side to his intended receiver. That's going to be number 12. The intended receiver there is Gabe Miller, the senior wide receiver. Incomplete, but we do have a flag down on the far side. False start against West Marion. And Bilderback, of course, is going to deny this penalty as the Wildcat offense gets a stop here, or defense gets a stop here, gets the ball back for their offense. I do know the difference between offense and defense. Just want to make that clear. Back to return this punt here is number 16, Moses. Going to take in this punt from Duncan. Moses going to catch it inside the 40. Got a couple of blocks. Moses carrying folks with him out to midfield. And tell me where you've heard this before, folks. Another flag.
Well, we've run 4 plays in the second half, and we've had 2 flags, so 50%.
That's not the percentage you want to be at. Just saying.
No, definitely not.
Blocking the back against the Wildcats, so The possession starting at midfield. Now it's going to start inside the 40 near the 37 for the Wildcat offense. So let's see what Columbia comes up with here on offense. As we told you at the start, Bullock, he does have 2 short touchdown runs, but outside of a couple of explosive runs, and I don't even know if you really want to call them explosive, a couple of runs where he was able to get loose, has been held in check for the most part. So Moses going to hand to Bullock here, and Bullock, I guess he heard me talking. Goodbye, Bullock. Touchdown, Wildcats.
It was a good job by that offensive line, excuse me, over the left side. Bullock took that football, and he got through that initial line. Nobody touched him, and he just turned on the jets. I knew the young man was fast, but Jason, I didn't know he was that fast. He just ran away from everybody.
3rd touchdown of the night for Bullock. Gracious alive. It's 20-7. You know, you hear the broadcaster's jinx. You call that the broadcaster's motivation? I don't know.
It typically works the other way.
And to attempt this extra point is Franklin out of the Moses hold, and you've got another stoppage here, and it's offside once again against West Marion. Look to my technical director to the left and say this is starting to resemble Laurel in Hattiesburg, the game we did back in August. What was that in that game? 40 penalties, 50, somewhere in there? Somebody on Facebook just said, yep, he definitely heard you talking about Bullock exploding left side for the touchdown.
With that penalty, Jason, moving it half the distance to the goal, Columbia's sending back out their offense. Now they're opting to go for 2.
63 yards on that romp to the end zone. And as you just heard Brad, Wildcats going to go for 2 here. Roundhouse backfield, handoff to Bullock, right side. Did he get in? They say no. Conversion no good. So the Trojan defense comes up with a big play here. It's 20-7 Columbia on top of West Marion by 13 now.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family. Worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
And we welcome you back as there's a good shot. Hey, sometimes you don't have tickets, or sometimes you just want to watch a game from a rooftop. And there's a good view from our camera guy, Newman. He knows the camera shots we want. Good shot, Newman. You pointed that out earlier. Hey, there's guys on the roof on the far side watching the ball game. Kind of reminds me of the Chicago Cubs home field there at Wrigley. Got folks watching the game from the rooftops. Short kick here taken by West Marion, and then the player is absolutely leveled. It's going to be a late hit as the up back took it here for West Marion, number 23, Josh Boone. And he went down on his knee, and then he was lit up. Look at the replay here. Goodness, he was lit up, and I think that was that Otis that came in with the lick? Couldn't tell the player, but this is going to cost Columbia here 15 yards as we'll look at the KDMC replay once again and try to pick up on the player that was guilty. That's a big call there. It'll move it near midfield for the Trojans. Oof. He's going to feel that in the morning.
And as you know, in high school football, once your knee hits the ground, you're down, and that defender maybe just forgot about that for a minute and saw the guy getting back up and delivered a lick. I hope the young man's all right. I believe he is. He got up and walked off the field.
So West Marion with sparkling field position for Jeremiah Holmes. Quick pass to McGee. McGee to the 40. Lowers his head to the 35, and he's near the 33 with a Mississippi Ag first down. And now the Trojans looking to answer.
Well, they've come out definitely wanting to throw the football here in the second half. as they've ran. That's their 4th offensive play, and they've thrown it every time. And so we talked about, Holmes came in with 11 touchdowns through the air, almost 1,000 yards passing. So it's not like they can't do it. He definitely is capable of it. And they look like here in the second half, that's what they're going to employ.
I guess I could see why you would do that, because Josh Brown, your cornerback, defensively for Columbia, he's only 5'9". McGee is 5'10", and you've got 3 receivers for West Marion that are 6'2" or taller. Quick pass here near side, and looks like there might have been some contact. No flag, as the intended receiver was McGee once again. Good coverage there by Columbia. Coming up to make that deflection there was number 12, Bell.
And I think this is a huge drive for West Marion here, Jason. They have to answer that score. Columbia just hit them with an uppercut. They got to come back and put some points on the board and keep themselves in this ball game.
2nd and 10 for West Marion. Trips to the far side. Montgomery play action. Screen pass, far side, beautifully set up play. Blockers in front. Mississippi Ag first down, spinning down inside the 25 on the reception for the Trojans. Jartavius Martin, and when you look at the KDMC replay here, Martin, I mean, it was set up beautifully, and a great block there. Well, just to get in the way there by number 4, Husband, to free up the receiver for the yardage there. Mississippi Ag first down. So Martin on the reception. Sets up the Trojans in business here, but trips to the near side. Holmes still your quarterback in the shotgun where he's been all night. First run of the second half for West Marion, and still churning the legs on his feet. And a hustle play there inside the KDMC red zone on the carry. Number 6, Octavius Harvey.
It was a good run by Harvey. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but kept moving his feet and spinning and able to pick up about 3.
Second down and 7. Trojans looking to answer here as moments ago Bullock raced 63 yards for Columbia to put the Wildcats on top 20-7. Back to pass is Holmes. Flushed out of the pocket. Holmes going to take off and run. Cuts it back towards the middle of the field. And he's inside the 15, close to the 13-yard line. A flag is down on the far side of the field. I mean,
you're going to be saying that in your sleep.
I'm
Flag
driving back, man. It's going to be flags everywhere. Some people see deer on the side of the road this time of year. I'm going to see flags going back. Holding against the defense. So that penalty will be marked off against the Columbia defense, and you hear the West Marion crowd on the far side coming to their feet. So, Brad, that'll put it inside the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal here for West Marion. Just moments ago, it looked like the Trojans were in a lot of trouble, down 20-7, giving up that long touchdown run to Bullock. Now they're in business, 1st and goal.
Yeah, and let's see if they go back to the run now that they're inside the 10, or if they keep trying to move it through the air.
Holmes, quarterback keeper, left side, plunges forward. Looks like he's able to get inside the 5. 2nd and goal coming up. They give him a gain of 1 on the tackle. Jeremiah Haynes, the nose guard for the Wildcats. Inside 8 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Plenty of time on the play clock, down to 15 seconds for West Marion. Trying to get this to a 1-score game. Harvey to the right shoulder of Holmes. Holmes, quarterback keeper again, is met in the middle and pushed back. As testing the teeth of that Wildcat defense, Holmes is pushed back. And now it's going to be 3rd and goal for West Marion.
Yeah, and the last time, the only time that West Marion has been down in this part of the field all night. They ran it 3 times with Holmes, and he was able to get in there on the 3rd time. But it looks like Columbia is telling them you're going to have to do something else. We're on to that. So big play here on 3rd down. Actually, I would imagine they're going to have 2 plays to get it in, because I imagine Coach Duncan would go for it even if they don't get it here.
Jaheim Otis, the big sophomore defensive tackle, comes out on this play. Pitch pass well behind Harvey. It's on the turf. There's still a scramble for it. Who hopped on it? West Marion able to jump back on it, as the officials already say 4th down. What in the world happened there? As you look at the KDMC replay, Holmes just threw it where Harvey wasn't. That's just the best way to put it.
Yeah, we're trying to get to the edge here. They're going up the middle twice and trying to get a little quick pitch and get to the edge. But as you said, Holmes just pitched it out to where his running back was not. So a big loss, and it'll bring up 4th and goal.
4th and goal, back around the 15-yard line. And now Coach Bilderback says, don't really care for how our defense is aligned, so we're going to burn a timeout here. Critical play of this 3rd quarter, 20-7 Columbia on top of West Marion, as we'll step aside for 30 seconds and come back to a phenomenal ball game here on the Spirit Media Network.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
And we welcome you back as critical play here in this 3rd quarter. Let's look at the KDMC replay again. I'm not sure what Holmes was doing here, Brad, when you look at the replay. Looks like it was tossed up around Harvey's.
It may have been behind him.
Yeah.
It was just a really bad toss by Holmes.
Yeah, there's folks on Facebook saying Columbia recovered it, and Logan just agreed, said Columbia got back on it. Back to pass is Holmes. Pressure comes. Holmes is going to have to do something. Holmes throws towards the corner of the end zone at the last moment, and he's going to be stopped. He completed the pass to his intended receiver, but he's going to be turned back shy of the goal line, as the receiver coming up with it was our Marion Husband, and he pushed towards that pylon, but going to be pushed back here, Brad, and a big stop for this Wildcat defense to get it back for their offense.
Well, it's a really good play. Stopping him short. Looks like going to stop him on about the 2-yard line. But a good job by Holmes buying some time and then finding his receiver, but a better job by this Columbia defense denying him the goal line.
Looks like they're going to spot it. Looks like at about the 3, maybe about the 3-yard line. We'll call it the 2, actually, when you look at where the chains are set. Heels on their own goalpost. Here's Bullock in the open. Bullock! They are not going to catch him. Is this the dagger? Bullock! 98 yards in Columbia. Breaks it open here at Peyton Field.
Well, Jason, we were talking about at halftime, like you said, West Marion could be proud that they held him in check in the first half, but the young man has carried it twice here in the second half for over 150, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Unbelievable. Bullock has scored all 26 points tonight for Columbia. Here's a stat for you. West Marion had only given up 40 total points on the year coming into tonight's ball game. They've given up 26 midway through the 3rd quarter. Attempting the extra point here. And it's going to be, looks like they got to the hold there. A flag comes in. Seems like I've said that a lot tonight. 26-7 Columbia.
This would be about the third time on an extra point attempt that West Marion's been flagged for being offside.
Are they in the neutral zone or what?
Yeah,
that's got to be it.
Right.
You would think. Because there's no way they're jumping that many times, you would think. So Franklin going to attempt the extra point here.
Actually, they've called a personal foul.
Wonder if they'll assess that on the kickoff. Right-footed kicker Franklin, the senior. Toes it up, and it's no good. Looks like it was good from here. The officials say no. It's 26-7. Columbia on top as we take a moment to admire the 98-yard touchdown run here by Bullock. I think I woke him up a few moments ago, didn't I?
Yeah, I tell you what, the young man showing out here in the second half. And, you know, Columbia able to execute the block. That's another thing we need to make mention of. I mean, he can't get anywhere if it's not for that offensive line.
No.
So the offensive line on the only two times that he's touched it here in the second half has created a little bit of space. And as you alluded to earlier, that's all he needs is a little bit of space. And he turns those jets on and you can forget it.
Otis is going to author this kickoff again. As Brad mentioned earlier, probably won't see a bigger football player that kicks off first football team than Otis. You can see why he's got multiple SEC offers, and he's just a sophomore. That's incredible to think. Columbia in control of this one, 26-7, as Otis has an end-over-end kick taken by West Marion's McGee on the far side. McGee trying to get to the outside. Breaks one tackle, lowers his head, and going to be pushed out of bounds across the 30, near the 33-yard line. That's where West Marion, will take over 1st and 10 as McGee hears it from the Columbia crowd here on this side. All right, so if you're West Marion, you look and you say, all right, 6 minutes here in the ball game or in the third quarter. There's still plenty of time in this football game. Doesn't seem like it because of where Uncle Mo momentum is sitting right now.
Right.
But there's still plenty of football left. If you're West Marion, you got to think, hey, we were moments away from making this 20-14 moments ago. You just got to keep with the game plan and stick with it. Back to passes Holmes. Time in the pocket. Now shoots it low. The intended receiver here was number 12, Gabe Miller. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
If you're West Marion, though, I thought last drive was critical to put points on the board, and now this is just a must. Because, like I said, Columbia's only ran 2 plays here in the second half, but they've both been big touchdown runs by Bullock. So you got to get some points and then try to figure out how to stop that train.
Holmes back to pass. He's got time, trying to look down the field. Finally finds Miller, and he is popped as he gets to midfield. Forward progress will give him the 49. He's got the Mississippi Ag first down as Otis was close to getting to him in the backfield there. And give credit to that offensive line who gave Holmes plenty of time to find his receiver. So now West Marion, they keep the chains moving as the clock continues to roll here in this third quarter of play. First and 10, West Marion. They've got twins to the left and to the right. Holmes, pressure coming. He steps up. Now he's going to take off and run. Holmes dives forward inside Columbia territory, inside the 45, down to the 43. He's going to be short a couple of yards of the Mississippi Ag first down. And, Brad, I got to tell you, I think that's what Holmes has to do more of if West Marion's going to crawl back in this ball game. He's got to run off. He's got to take off and run with it more.
Yeah, absolutely. Columbia's just dropping back into a zone coverage. He's going to have some passes underneath if he wants them, but anything down the field is going to be hard to get to. And you're right, if the lane opens up, then Holmes needs to just tuck it and get what he can get.
Holmes takes the snap, a little play action. He's going to roll to his left, throws downfield, has a man open. It's going to be caught. I think that's Swanigan, and it is. Out of bounds on the far side. Mississippi Ag first down inside the 30, and it is going to be Cuvante Swanigan for the Mississippi Ag first down. So the Trojans on the move once again.
Well, as we talked about, Holmes is quite capable of throwing the football, coming in with completing 64% of his passes on the year. And West Marion's going to need him to do that in the second half in the rest of this ball game if they're going to get back in it.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Holmes back to pass, rolls to his right, hold everything. The official says false start against West Marion. Another flag. Trojan fans don't like the call.
And of course, you're going to get West Marion fans talking tonight because it has been very lopsided, the amount of calls that West Marion, penalties that they've been called for versus Columbia. But they're self-inflicted.
Sure. Well, you look at all the penalties on 3rd down on defense in that first half. You and I talked about it at halftime. The self-inflicted wounds, getting your defense off the field there in that first half. Holmes, quick pass over the middle, incomplete. Had a receiver open, even put his hand up to say I'm open, was Husband. And that pass is low, incomplete. 2nd down at 15 for the Trojans, right around the 30-yard line. 26-7. 2 big runs by Columbia's Bullock. The Ole Miss commit had a 63-yard touchdown run here in the second half. And a 98-yard touchdown run. Holmes, pump fake. He's in trouble. Dumps it off here near side, trying to spin inside the 30, and he will. Nice open field tackle here by Franklin. And you got a little extracurricular here, as you might expect. These teams been getting it on since 1963, so I'm sure we've had a couple of pushing and shoving matches. The flag comes down at the end of the play. You'd probably just say these are offsetting.
Interesting to see how what they're gonna come away with here.
Well, here's the call. Personal foul against Columbia. Personal foul against West Marion. They offset. They'll bring up 3rd down.
It is interesting, though. You've got a crew out of Hattiesburg, because I recognize about 3 or 4 of the officials out there that are calling the game, and probably for the best that you keep any Marion County guys out of it. And since I do know 3 or 4 of those guys, they're going to be getting phone calls tomorrow about all these flags that they've thrown.
See if they know anyone from the Laurel and Hattiesburg game. Can you check on that while you're at it? I would think that we're in 2-down territory here for West Marion.
Well, the score being what it is, absolutely, I would think so.
So you got to think you got 2 downs here to get the 13 yards. Twins to the left and right for Holmes, your quarterback. I think that's Harvey to his left shoulder, and it is. A little quick pass to Harvey. Harvey going to try to reverse his field, and he is met rudely as he gets to the 30-yard line. Minimal gain. Looks like he might actually lost some yards back to the 30. 4th down and close, we'll say 14 yards coming up for West Marion. So the Trojans, after moving the ball a little bit here on this drive, a couple of big plays, starting to go backwards here at the worst possible time when you get in the later downs in this possession.
Yeah, they're going to need a big play here to keep this drive going.
And we've got officials stopping the clock. And Columbia just burned their 2nd timeout of the half. Will that benefit West Marion? We'll see. 4th and 14 when we come back, as it's 26-7 Columbia on top of West Marion. Back in 30 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
Before digging in my yard, I always call 811 to have my utility lines marked, to avoid service interruptions or injury. As CenterPoint Energy says, it's better to call 811 now than 911 later. And if I suspect a gas leak, I leave the area immediately on foot and call CenterPoint Energy and 911 from a safe, remote location. Really?
CenterPoint Energy invests in its infrastructure to help keep you safe. CenterPoint Energy. Always there.
4th and 14 for West Marion, as Columbia just burns their second timeout of the second half. Coach Bilderback saw something in the defensive alignment that he didn't particularly like or care for, so he burns the timeout. 4th and 14 for West Marion. Empty backfield, a man in motion to the near side. Holmes back to pass. Has to throw it at the last minute and met immediately and tackled well short of the first down. Pass complete to Martin, and he had nowhere to go. And Columbia will get it back after the turnover on downs. Take your pick of defenders. Brown and McGee get there to combine to make the tackle for Columbia, as the Wildcats can really put this one away here with a score.
Well, if you're Coach Duncan, it's a teaching moment there for your quarterback, Jeremiah Holmes. If you got 4th and about 13 or 14, even if you throw an interception there, you want to throw the ball down the field.
Towards the end zone.
He had Gabe Miller wide open in the middle of the field, but just didn't see him.
There's a handoff to the second string running back here, Johnson, but again I say penalty. False start against Columbia.
There's been quite a few. And it wasn't until the second half that I realized, hey, wait a minute, I know those guys.
We really should. Logan says we need to tally up how many flags we've had in this ball game. Confusion on the handoff there, and Moses has to eat it, as he'll lose a couple of yards back behind the 25-yard line. And now we got some pushing and shoving going on between one of the Trojans and one of the Wildcats, and you expect some frustration setting in for West Marion. Now the officials are going to take a timeout. Official says, hey, come here, fellas. Let's have a kumbaya moment. As he's going to talk to both teams. He's pulling all 11 from both sides in here.
Well, it's really not a bad idea. I mean,
I agree.
He needs, the kids don't want to do anything foolish here. Regardless, of course, this is a big rivalry game, but regardless of the outcome of this, you got a ball game next week. And if you were to do something foolish and get thrown out of this one, then you're going to miss a good part of your game next week. So kids need to keep their cool and just get through this game.
You keep your cool, and if you're Columbia, I mean, no coach is ever going to say they feel like a game is in hand. But inside 3 minutes here in this third quarter, you're up by 19. You can really put it away here, but you want to chew clock and not take any penalties, as Moses has a man open and drops it over the shoulder of Brown, incomplete. He had Brown open. Did Brown, looks like he might have given up on the route there just a little bit. I thought that pass was placed pretty nicely here by Moses as we look at the KDMC replay.
And he may not have seen the football, because I agree with you. I thought the pass was thrown pretty good.
I think you're right. I don't think he saw it until the last minute. So 3rd and 17 now. Well, if you're West Marion, you can get the football back with a stop here. The handoff to Bullock. And Bullock keeping those legs moving across the 25. He'll get a couple of yards on the play. And that is it. As the Trojans, give them credit, they're not giving up. They're going to get the football back here for their offense as we're late here in this third quarter, and you're down by 19.
You got to get points, though, Jason, because you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get. And so if you're West Marion, you can't come away with too many more empty possessions.
The officials are stopping the clock once again here. They're checking on one of the Wildcat special teamers here. Everybody's in good shape, so official says let's go. Wind that clock as Franklin is going to author this kick to McGee, who has shown if he's given a little bit of space, he can make some things happen. McGee's going to let it bounce, though, and it's going to take a Columbia roll all the way down to the 25-yard line. And McGee maybe misjudged that one. Don't know what the play call was there, if he was told to scoop it or just let it go. But the Trojans get the football back. Inside 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Again, if you score here, if you're West Marion, it makes the fourth quarter extremely interesting. And you're not out of it if you can get a touchdown here.
Yeah, they need to strike, as you said, Jason. And if they can go into the fourth quarter just down 2 scores, then you feel a lot better about your chances. Right now they're down 3, and that's it'll be a little daunting to come back against this Columbia defense in the fourth quarter if you're down 3 scores.
Holmes, your senior quarterback, back in the ball game. Let's see what Holmes comes up with. A little play action, rolls to his right, looking, throws downfield, and he had a receiver open, Husband, earlier in the play and continued to scramble out to his right and then shoots it low, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Is it me, or does Holmes get happy feet maybe a shade too quickly?
No, he does. He gets out of that pocket, and instead of staying in the pocket and keeping his feet set to where he can deliver the pass, he gets outside and tries to throw on the run, and he can't get much behind the ball. That's what happened on that particular play.
4 receivers set again for Holmes. From his own 25, a 2nd and 10. Trojans down 19 here late in this third quarter. Pocket closing, and now he throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver, I think that was Swanigan. And it was, and he's a little gimpy coming up, but stays on his feet. So 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans here. 26-7. West Marion trailing Columbia. And again, Columbia came in undefeated, 7-0, 2-0 in region play. West Marion 8-0, 2-0 in region play. You got to feel the winner of this ball game has the inside track on the region championship and the state championship. Pressure in his face immediately, and on the deflection, almost intercepted. And it's getting in the backfield quickly was Greg Fortenberry, and forced that incompletion as he was all up in Holmes' grill immediately. 4th down, and the Trojans are going to have to give it right back to the Wildcats.
Yeah, Fortenberry putting the pressure on him, forcing Holmes to throw it quicker than he wanted to, and the receiver just wasn't ready, and very fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted on the deflection.
So punting it away again is Duncan, as he'll come forward and kick this one, kind of a line drive kick, going to be taken over the shoulder here by Moses. Moses in trouble, gets away from one tackler, can't get away from a second, and falls forward to the 45-yard line. So Columbia with fantastic field position to start this possession as we inch towards the end of the third quarter. 26-7. All right, if you're Coach Bilderback or if you're a Columbia fan, what are you wanting to see here on this possession? Of course, you want to see a score, but you could just see 5 minutes. Chew 5 or 6 minutes off the clock here.
Yeah, they took a shot down the field the last time they had the ball, but if I'm Columbia, if I'm Coach Bilderback, I'm just running the football. Bullock could pop one at any time, and worst case scenario, as you said, Jason, they just eat up that clock.
Pistol formation here for Moses, going to turn and hand. And I want to say that that's Bullock, and it is. He's going to lose yards back near the 42-yard line, a loss of 4 yards. 2nd and 14 coming up for the Wildcats. So again, give credit to this West Marion team. They're not giving up. That defense still playing hard out there. Wildcats on top, 26-7. 2 long touchdown runs in the second half for the Ole Miss commit, Kentrell Bullock. One of 63 yards and one of 98 yards. Here's a handoff to Bullock. Noses forward. Get some of that lost yardage back. We're going to bring up 3rd down and long as we tick down towards the end of the 3rd quarter. This might be the last play of the quarter.
Only thing I might do if I'm Coach Bilderbacks, I might give somebody else a chance to run the football.
Sure.
At this point. But you've got plenty of football left this season to go, and Bullock may have done enough. This game may be in hand. We'll have to see how West Marion can respond the next time they get the football.
Into the 3rd quarter as Columbia in control of this one, 26-7 as we head to the 4th and final quarter. As we'll bring you the 4th quarter here on the Spirit Media Network in 60 seconds as we encourage you to stay tuned here from Peyton Field in Columbia.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, butcher block islands, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Mississippi Hunters, did you know that Vance Sporting Goods has the largest gun selection in the state? Vance carries the lines you know and respect, like Browning and Benelli. And we've got plenty of ammo in stock too. Drop by and check out our new duck hunting section, complete with decoys and accessories. You'll be happy, happy, happy you did. If it's guns, it's at Vance. Vance Sporting Goods.
777 Highway 468 in Brandon, or visit us online.
And we welcome you back as Bullock takes it left side for 3 yards, and he's stopped. Minimal gain as the Wildcats will have to punt this one away. If you're Coach Bilderback, you just wanted to keep the clock rolling there, so we welcome you to the 4th and final quarter. 26-7. This was a tight ball game at halftime, 14-7 Columbia, but it's been all Wildcats in the 3rd quarter as we open this 4th quarter. Fair catch taken by West Marion's Martin just outside the 25. So the Trojans will get it back on offense, trailing by 19. Jason Scarborough, Brad Bounds, Logan Campbell in the press box with you. Newman Kazari on top, filming for us tonight. And all of you watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube Live, and SpiritMediaNet.com. Was there a penalty on the play? Please don't tell me there was another penalty.
I didn't see it if there was.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I saw him backing up there. I was like, not another one. So let's see what West Marion can do here. Can they get a touchdown and make this one interesting? Quick pass here to Harvey on the near side, trying to pick up a block, and he's not going to get one. Goodness gracious, as he's absolutely leveled by number 25 for the Wildcats. Coming up to make the tackle. Looks like that was Jonathan Witz coming up to make the stop.
This Columbia defense, digging their heels in now, trying to put this game away for the Wildcats.
Here's what's interesting when you look at this series. Columbia leads the all-time series 30-16 coming into tonight as it's 2nd down and 12 for West Marion here. Back to passes Holmes, pressure in his face. He's in trouble, gets away from one would-be tackler, now throws it and somehow gets it to McGee, who's off to the races far side. A stiff arm, and he's out of bounds with the Mississippi Ag first down, so the Trojans not done yet. But recent history has belonged to the Trojans. They won 4 in a row in the series from 2014 to 2017. West Marion, they've won 4 of the last 5 meetings, and in the last decade, they've taken 7 of the last 10. Columbia last year, though, 28-6 in blowout fashion. And that's kind of been the story of this series in the last 15 or 20 years. The last time one of these games have been decided by 10 points or less, 2010. So most of these games have been blowouts. We expected this game to be much closer, and it still might be, as Holmes, he's in trouble dancing around, and you can't do that against a Wildcat defense, because guess who is waiting on you? Jaheim Otis, the sophomore defensive tackle, comes up with the stop there. A loss of 1, second down and 11. The last time it was decided by 7 points or less, 2001. We do our homework around here, Brad.
I see that.
It's pretty crazy when you think about these two teams, how much they dislike each other, how close they are, and the battles that they've had, that most of these games don't go down to the wire. It's either one team's year or it's not. It's intercepted here by the Wildcats. And a flag comes in at the end of the play. It's coming up with the pick is number 7 for Columbia. That's going to be Franklin. But let's check the hanky as Franklin, 2-year starter, comes up with the second pick of the season. And it's going to be a block in the back on the interception return. So the interception will stand as we look at the KDMC replay. And he just read that one beautifully as Holmes tried to fit that one in a tight spot.
Yeah, he probably wishes he had that one back, Jason. That
sure
wasn't too much of a window there for him to throw the ball into. And Columbia able to get the interception, and that could very well be the dagger.
So the block in the back is going to move it back behind the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats there, and we'll see if Brad's request is met, letting someone else get in on offense. They're not listening to us, man. Starter's back out there. They didn't listen to us. Definitely don't want to get anybody hurt.
Well, that was my thinking.
So Moses high snap, hands off to Bullock, lowers his shoulder. Bullock still punishing defenders. Gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Well, no, we'll call it 3, 2nd and 7.
Bullock has been every bit as good as advertised. I know people are going to say, well, he only, other than those 2 runs, but those 2 runs were impressive.
They were. And you said it when we went to break on both of those. You really don't realize how fast he is until you see him out of the, and he hits another gear. It's like he hits the juice. And here's Bullock. He's going to be grabbed by, looks like the face mask, and there comes the flag. As it may be a face mask. And it is going to be a face mask against West Marion. So, again, penalties have been the biggest Achilles heel for West Marion here tonight. Flags and, of course, trying to defend Kentrell Bullock.
Well, that's well over 100 yards in penalties.
Oh, yeah.
For West Marion. If you're Coach Duncan, regardless of anything else, that's something that you've got to make a focus going into your next game. You can't keep putting yourself in positions like they have tonight and expect to come out on top.
Official says wind the clock as the Mississippi Ag first down is registered inside the 40-yard line. For the Wildcats, starters remain in the ball game here for Coach Bilderback and crew. Pistol formation here for Moses, who's gone the distance at quarterback. Handoff here is to a new running back in the ball game. That's the 2nd string running back McGee, as he squeezes out a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Of course, if you're Columbia, you just want to keep that clock moving and get out of here with a win and improve to 8-0. Columbia, one of the few undefeated teams remaining in the state, along with West Marion coming into tonight. Moses in the shotgun where he's been much of the night. A man in motion. And that man in motion is going to take the handoff far side, turning on the Jets and lowering his head with the Mississippi Ag first down close to the KDMC red zone. Do we have another flag?
We do, back up toward the line of scrimmage.
Good grief. A hold against Columbia. Well,
it hadn't been pretty as far as the penalties are concerned. There's been quite a few of them. That negates a really good run there by Columbia and a pick up a first down with a penalty to back them up to about 2nd and 18, it looks like.
And I'll say this, too. This is not an indictment on West Marion or Columbia, but there hasn't been a whole lot of flow to this game because of the penalties.
Right.
So it's been hard for either team to really get into any kind of offensive flow or any kind of offensive rhythm because of the penalties. And I don't know who do you blame for that. I don't know if there's anyone to point the finger at. I think sometimes, and you've worked with officials, so you know a lot of these. Sometimes, and I have friends that are officials as well, sometimes it just seems like some nights they're just trigger happy.
Yeah, it does. And it kind of, unfortunately, sometimes they feed off of each other.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's thrown a couple, I better get in on this.
You get a flag. You get a flag. Everybody gets a flag. It's like Oprah giving out cars here. They're down and long. Moses going to roll to his right. Rockets a pass near side, but too low for the intended receiver, number 5. Daquan Jones incomplete, and now the Wildcats will give it right back to the Trojans as we're inside 7 minutes to go in this ball game. And many of the Trojan fans on the far side have made their way to the exits. And let's just say this, phenomenal night for football as far as the weather.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
Absolutely. This is football weather. This is what we've endured the past month. It's been brutal.
Not like last week when we had to climb on top at Petal High School and basically wipe off the ladder we had to climb up on at Petal because it was so slick from all the rain that had come through. And we were caught in rain left and right going down to Petal last week for that Brandon and Petal game.
You know, and since you mentioned them, we got to break into action. I know that's not who we're talking about tonight, but how good is Petal? Oak Grove, Brandon, and Pearl back to back to back weeks.
Yeah.
You know, really just taking a hold of that, of that Region 3 6A there. And, it'd be interesting to see how that shakes out. Oak Grove finds himself behind the 8 ball now, trying to get into the playoffs. But
well, I'll tell you, Brad, I think that it's more of a kudos and a tip of the hat to just football in the Pine Belt in general, really, because you've got so many good football teams. We see 2 really good football teams here tonight, undefeated. Coming in as Holmes steps up in the pocket and throws down the middle of the field, incomplete, and there comes the flag. The intended receiver looks like that was, I think that was Husband, and it was Husband. Looks like they're going to get Columbia for pass interference. Why not? We've had a lot of flags tonight. Let's look at the replay here, the KDMC replay. You tell me what you think. Interference? You can't really tell from that angle. Maybe he got tripped. I don't know.
Just to put a period on what you were talking about there, yeah, we are truly blessed in this area with the football, the talent that is here, much like you guys are up in the Jackson area.
Well,
a lot of great teams up in that area as well.
His first and 10 at around the 31. But to answer your question about how good is Petal, we saw him twice this year. That overtime game against Pearl, the game last week against Brandon. Back to passes Holmes, and he's picked off. This could be the exclamation point. Blockers out in front, cutting it back and taking it in the end zone. On the interception is Jamison Kelly, pick 6, and that could do it when you look at the KDMC replay.
Holmes had some pressure on him. I don't think he saw that defender cutting in front of McGee, but a good job by Kelly just sitting back, playing center field, reading that pass and taking it to the house.
Only the 3rd interception of the year for Holmes. And actually, that's his 4th. Came in with only 2 picks and has thrown 2 here tonight. And for Jamison Kelly, the senior, 3-year starter and the Louisiana Tech commit. puts the punctuation on tonight's game with the bitter rival, West Marion. And to attempt the extra point, I think that's Franklin, and he will author it up and good. Franklin puts it through, and it's 33-7. Columbia on top of West Marion. There's a good look at Jamison Kelly. He's having fun tonight, and the Wildcat faithful having a good time as well. We're back in 30 seconds on the Spirit Media Network.
A smile is one of the first things most people notice. And for over a decade, Germany Dental has helped change smiles for thousands of people across Mississippi.
I was so embarrassed about my teeth that I never smiled. But now that I have dental implants and cosmetic veneers from Germany Dental, I can't stop smiling. My decision to see Dr. Germany literally changed my life.
Germany Dental, changing lives, one smile at a time. Call 601-825-4746 today.
And we welcome you back. Pick six moments ago by Jamison Kelly. Senior free safety, and he takes it to the house for the pick six. And again, this was 14-7 at the intermission. And ever since then, it's been all Columbia, all Wildcats, both on offense and now on defense.
Well, you had Bullock come out. The defense forced West Marion on a 3-and-out. Bullock hits you with a big play. 3-and-out again. Bullock hits you with a big play. And if you're West Marion, it just totally takes you out of your game plan, takes you out of your offensive plan at all. Holmes has had to just go to strictly throwing the ball, and now Columbia's just sitting back. And
Otis with a line drive kick, going to be pounced on by McGee inside the 25 at the 24. But to finish your point, I mean, Bullock came out, like you said, you know, it's apparent that they're watching and listening to the game, watching us, right? Because Bullock must have heard us. Because he has responded in the second half. 63-yard touchdown run, 98-yard touchdown run. And this Wildcat defense has said, okay, that's it, 7 points and no more. We're shutting it down. And then they just score 6 points moments ago.
yeah, and like I said, with West Marion, you become one-dimensional. You get so far behind, you become one-dimensional just passing the football. It kind of makes things a little bit easier for this Columbia defense.
Looks like Columbia has asked for and received a timeout. That's going to be their final timeout of the ball game. As we'll take another look here. Nope, we won't take a look at the replay. Good job, Logan. No, Logan says, I got it. Hang on a second. We're going to look at the pick six moments ago. Logan's got it ready to go. As we take a look at the KDMC replay here, and you watch the pick six here. Give credit to Kelly. He read the eyes of the quarterback there and just stepped in front of that pass and took it the distance for the pick six. And this Columbia defense, you've got Otis, the sophomore, 6'5", 325. Two-year starter, multiple SEC offers. You got Jeremiah Haynes, the junior nose guard, 6'1", 315, a two-year starter. He'll be back next year. Otis will be back next year. Aaron, your defensive tackle, 6'2", 275 as they come near side. And goodness gracious, what a lick. Goodness alive, and I hope the young man is okay as number 11, Martin, just got absolutely lit up by two Columbia defenders. And give credit here to Martin. He stands up and walks off. Can we look at that again? Holy cow, what a lick. KDMC replay here as it's going to be Martin on the pass here. Goodness, I think that was Kelly that came in on the lick. Logan just said he heard that up here, 1st and 10. Holmes back to pass. Pressure comes. He's going to be spun down and sacked. And we just mentioned a moments ago, Jeremiah Haynes comes up with the sack. A major loss on the play. As Haynes is having some fun with these defensive mates here. And, you know, again, this kid comes back next year. That's not what opposing teams want to hear.
Yeah, and I was listening to you when you were going over that. Both those big boys up front have another year. Well, one of them has two. yet to go in his high school career. And it's phenomenal to see exactly how big they are and how athletic they are, and still have some room to grow.
Holmes, quick pass far side, and it's going to be caught by Swanigan. Swanigan going to be a few yards shy of the Mississippi Ag first down across the 35, near the 40. They'll say he went out at about the 37, 38-yard line. So third down and medium coming up here for the Trojans.
As you mentioned a few minutes ago, Jason, you look across the way and the West Marion fans have kind of thinned out. I don't think anybody's left on the Columbia side.
I think everybody's still here. A rare Thursday night treat for you here on the Spirit Media Network, and glad that all of you have joined us tonight on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube Live, spiritmedianet.com. Holmes back to pass, throws over the middle, has Swanigan. Swanigan, does he have enough speed? Nope, going to be pushed out of bounds by Kelly far side, but he is inside the KDMC red zone, and a Mississippi Ag first down. Nice job by Holmes to connect with Swanigan here.
Really the best pass Holmes has thrown all night. He put a little touch on that and just got it over the defense right into the arms of Swanigan. Hit him on the run. Swanigan ran out of gas, though, as he was going down the field. Took it inside the 20.
I've been impressed with this Swanigan kid.
We've called his name a lot.
We have. Swanigan and McGee, who's a sophomore for the Trojans. And, as we get towards the end of the game here, West Marion, this was not their night. This has been a year that Columbia has been building toward. And you knew coming back that they were going to be one of the favorites in South 3A for sure. But for West Marion, this is a team we should see them in the postseason.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. These young men still have a lot of football in them this year.
Little dump off pass here to Harvey. Pick up close to 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Trojans.
These two teams could meet again.
I'm glad you said that. I was literally just thinking that. How much fun would that be to see these two teams again? And here's what's crazy. Typically, we were talking about Petal moments ago. It seems like in that region, whoever wins the regular season matchup between division foes, if they meet in the postseason, the loser of the regular season matchup turns around and wins in the postseason.
Yeah, it's been that way seems like for quite a while, and there's a very good chance these two teams see each other again in the postseason.
Pass here to Swanigan, and he dives for the pylon. Did he get in? Got a pretty good angle there. They say touchdown. Touchdown for the Trojans. As we look at the KDMC replay, as it was just a quick pass here to Swanigan. And we were talking about him moments ago as, boy, he laid out for it there and got the pylon. Good camera angle there by Newman. As it'll make it 33-13, and the Trojans more than likely going to go for 2. Nope, they say we'll just line up and kick the extra point here. As it'll be Blakeney to attempt this extra point for West Marion. There's the kick. It's going to be right down the middle good, 33-14. As Columbia now leads West Marion by 19. As we will step aside here as we take another look at the touchdown catch and run here by Swanigan. So heads up, or a tip of the hat here to West Marion. Not giving up in this ball game, 33-14. We step aside for 30 seconds here on the Spirit Media Network.
The Mississippi National Credentialing Initiative, or MNCI, is a collaboration between the Mississippi Community College Board and the 15 Mississippi junior colleges. The MNCI provides opportunities for students enrolled in credited career and technical education programs to receive national certifications. The premise of the MNCI is to connect education and industry for an improved Mississippi workforce. Students with national certifications often earn more than their counterparts without a certification. Visit mccb.edu for more information regarding the MNCI and career and technical education programs that lead to national certifications.
And we're back with you here after the West Marion touchdown. Apparently, or you would think that we're going to see an onside here. Nope, they're just going to kick it down the middle of the field. Taken on the run by Columbia and coming near side, trying to pick up a block and then gobbled up just outside the 30 is the Wildcat return man here. I think that's Johnson, and it is. Is there another flag down? I think at this point my eyes are playing tricks on me, really, because we've seen so many. Nope, no flag. Praise the Lord. 33-14. I really expected an onside kick there.
I did too, and I don't know if it's just something they don't have in their arsenal or what, but they just booted it down the field, so they may just be chalking this one up.
I think you got Moses still in the ball game, and you do. He's going to hand off to Johnson going left side. Johnson across the 35, close to the 37-yard line. Pick up about 4 yards. Second down at 6. Clock rolling here as we tick towards 3 minutes in this contest. Glad that you're with us tonight, wherever you're watching. Got a few viewers tonight. We appreciate you guys hanging with us here from Peyton Field. I love saying that.
That's your first time seeing the statue tonight?
Yes.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It was worth it. Hand off to Johnson near side. Johnson trying to pick up a block. Johnson has room. A flag is down. Johnson spinning and still on his feet. And he's going to house it all the way down to the 1, but a flag is down. There's 3 flags down. You get a flag. Everybody gets a flag. Let's look at the KDMC replay. Right there, maybe?
They threw it in the right at the line of scrimmage, so yeah. Well, I don't know. You got one there, one here.
Mm-hmm. Can you run it back again one more time, Logan? Let's check one more time and see if we can see where the penalty happened. Maybe right there.
Yeah, I see it now. Okay, well, we've proven that one of the penalties was correct.
One out of
50.
76.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Been a few.
So for those of you that are still watching, this will give me time to tell some story, and I'll tell it again in the post game, but a special night for me if you don't know already. And I encourage you to check out the story that I got to post earlier at spiritmedianet.com, our website, where many of you are watching tonight. My father went to West Marion. My mom went to Columbia. And this is the first time I've ever been able to see these two teams play. Out of all the teams, all the fields I've been able to go to, as here's a handoff to a new running back in the ball game out to the 25. I've never been able to do West Marion and Columbia. I've done Brandon, done Jackson Prep, done St. Andrews, done Pearl. I've done a ton of state championship games. Walked the field at Tiger Stadium. Sorry, I'll take you with me next time. Walked the field at Ole Miss. Walked the field at Mississippi State. Been at Veterans Stadium 100 times, as I mentioned. Never gotten to walk the field here tonight. So this is kind of a special moment for me, too. Kind of cool to be able to see these two communities lock horns, and kind of a cool night for me. Looks like that's Brown, the second-string quarterback, going to take the direct snap. He'll get to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So it'll be 4th down, and the Wildcats going to have to punt this one away here, as we're inside 60 seconds to go here in this ball game.
I just really looked at the logo there, the C in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to the Chicago Bears C. Is that
by design?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think it is.
Wouldn't be bad if it was.
No, not at all. I'm still mad at Mike Ditka, though, for not giving Peyton the football in that 85 Super Bowl. How do you not do that? He's the guy that got you there.
Walter was a little upset himself.
Yeah, he should have been. And Walter rarely got upset,
right,
from what I understand. This punt's going to carry inside the 40 and be down at about the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. So West Marion, one last crack at it with about 19 seconds on the clock. And Columbia going to improve to 7-0, 3-0 in Region 8-3A. West Marion going to drop to 8-1, 2-1 in that region. And again, I feel like we know that Columbia is going to be in the playoffs. I feel like West Marion will be there too. West Marion got a big win over McGee last week. They've already defeated Jefferson Davis County, so we should see both of these teams in the playoffs, no doubt. Back to pass is Holmes. Kind of one-hands that snap. Wants to throw over the middle. Has Swanigan who catches it at the 45. And the clock will stop as they move the chains. After the Mississippi Ag first down, I got to tell you, if I could pick an MVP for the team that was on the short end of the stick tonight, Swanigan is my guy. He is taking some licks tonight.
Yeah, they've got him listed as a running back, defensive back. He's made 2 beautiful catches here tonight.
And there's another great catch. Looks like that's Husband that comes up. That's an NFL-type catch there. Towed the sideline to make the catch for the Mississippi Ag first down inside the 30-yard line. And a couple of seconds on the clock here, and that'll do it. Dominant performance by the Wildcats here in the second half. Back to pass, and this will be the final play of the ball game. Is throwing it towards the end zone as Holmes has a man there and nearly intercepted. And that'll do it as the celebration commences here at Peyton Field, Gardner Stadium. Columbia defeats West Marion 33-14. What a performance in the second half by Columbia.
Absolutely. Bullock, the main man, as we talked about in the pregame show for Columbia, the horse that kind of drives this wagon, if you will. He came out and with 2 runs, as you've mentioned a couple of times, the 63-yarder and 98-yarder really put a dagger in the heart of West Marion, and Columbia was able to control the ball game from that point forward.
Outside of Bullock for Columbia, is there a player for the Wildcats that stood out to you that impressed you? Because Bullock, let's talk about him for a second. He was all that was advertised. First half, West Marion held him in check for the most part. Second half, you could tell he came out motivated to make an impression, and he did.
Yeah, he absolutely did. But to answer your question, as I got to put my glasses back on to see this, Jason. Yeah, I think Moses, the quarterback for Columbia, who came in, and I was trying to find this stat where you put down. Columbia offense came in rushing, averaging 317 yards on the ground and only 49 yards through the air. But what Moses showed me is, hey, look, if we get in a position where we have to throw the football, we can do it. You know, and so he impressed me tonight. Didn't have to throw it too many times, but when he did, was able to put it right on the money.
And we're looking at the 98-yard touchdown run by Bullock in that second quarter, or that third quarter, where Columbia really erupted. And Bullock just, that you felt like after that touchdown run that Columbia was about to put it away. And for the most part, they did. Big win for Columbia here tonight, 33-14. We will take a 2-minute break, come back, and wrap things up here as the Wildcats celebrate with their band and celebrate in the end zone here to our left. What a night for the Wildcats, 33-14 over West Marion. Back in 2 minutes here on the Spirit Media Network.
You're more than a patient at KDMC. You're family, worthy of kindness, compassion, and respect. King's Daughters Medical Center, caring for our community like no one else can.
The Outdoorsman Tractor Package is here at Mississippi Ag. Choose a 3 Series John Deere tractor tailored to your horsepower needs and get all the attachments you require for the fall in one convenient package, including a loader, disc, and spreader starting at $315 a month. And as always, you get it all covered by our 10-year warranty. With 0% financing for 60 months, it's a deal that is sure to help you get your food plots ready for the season. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires 10/31/19.
You often hear about Mississippi's best-kept secrets. If you're looking for the perfect place for your next weekend getaway or the just right setting for your wedding reception, look no further than the best-kept secret in Mississippi, the Cart Barn Inn. The Cart Barn Inn is tucked away in Bruce, Mississippi, less than 30 minutes from Oxford, and is a full-service bed and breakfast. Each room at the Cart Barn Inn is fully furnished, including flat-screen TVs, microwaves, refrigerators, wireless internet, comfortable seating areas, and docking stations for your smartphones just in case you forgot your charger. Enjoy breakfast in the morning or a nice evening walk in our privately fenced-in courtyard. Enjoy the game outside on our patio area or take a walk on our boardwalk to our private gazebo. Kay Tyler and her staff will meet every expectation during your stay. Call and book your reservation today at 662-983-7829 or log on to cartbarninn.com. Cart Barn Inn, the best kept secret in Mississippi.
Slamma-jamma. And we welcome you back as we are here at Peyton Field. You hear the celebration in front of us here. Jason Scarborough, Brad Bounds here as we just kind of put a button on this game tonight. Columbia was 14-7 at the half. They explode in the second half. It was halftime 14-7 Columbia, and they explode in the second half. Two big runs from Bullock, the Ole Miss commit, and they just put it away. This is a team that seems to be the favorite in 3A after seeing them tonight.
Well, I would think so. They're the total package. They have it on offense and on defense. I haven't seen this year, and you've seen more football than I have, different teams, whatever. I haven't seen a player with as much explosiveness as Kentrell Bullock showed here tonight, because as he showed, I mean, all he needs is a little bit of space. Once he gets that space, he's got another gear that not too many people have, and he's really a special ball player.
And on those two touchdown runs, it's not like it was wasn't a ton of space that he had to get away, but he, again, like you said, doesn't need but a little bit of room. So phenomenal tonight. Phenomenal performance by Columbia. We're glad that you joined us tonight. Apparently I can't speak English anymore, so we're going to get off the air. For Logan Campbell, Newman Kazari, I'll give you the last word. How much fun was tonight?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, man. Thanks again, Jason. I appreciate it, bud. Thanks
it's always
for
good
calling
to see you.
And I really had a good time with you guys.
Brad Bounds in the press box with us tonight. Hope he can join us down the road for another ball game. Newman Kazari running camera tonight. We appreciate him and all of our sponsors. All of you folks watching on Facebook and Twitter, YouTube Live, we encourage you to share this video. By the way, you can watch the replay of the video on our Roku TV channel. Just go to the Roku search store, search for Spirit Live. You can download it. It's free and watch West Marion at Columbia from the comfort of your own living room. I think it's supposed to rain this weekend, so watch West Marion and Columbia again, even if you're a West Marion fan. It's okay. Enjoy football, all right? Thanks to our sponsors, folks, and everybody joining us here tonight. We'll see you next time on the Spirit Media Network. Good night, everybody.